Hi, everybody. My name is Scott Kuban, and I will be the story guide tonight for the Trinity Continuum Aeon game that we're playing here for the Onyx Path Virtual Gaming Convention. I'll let everyone else here go around the room and introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about the character they're going to be playing. So why don't we start with Danielle?
Oh, hi.
You're on the spot.
Oh, no. I'm Danielle Lozon, and I am one of the Onyx Path freelancers and developers. I also kind of help develop Trinity Continuum and Trinity Continuum Aeon. So this is actually the first time I've had a chance to play a game.
Oh, wow.
Of any of it. So this would be fantastic. I've been running it a bunch, but I haven't played it at all. So I'm really excited.
That's been my curse since 1997.
Yeah, well, that's
forever DM, yes.
Yes, forever. Once a DM, always a DM.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I am playing, oh man, I'm going to butcher this last name, so I'm not going to try it. I'm playing Charis, Phytokinetic. And she's kind of an honest, like overly honest, hot-headed, brash person, which is nothing like me in the real life. So nothing at all like me.
Cool, excellent. Who wants to
not touching it?
Yeah.
All right, Craig, why don't you introduce yourself next?
Sure. Craig Shaw, and this is my first time playing the system, so this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm playing Jean-Marie Matenda, who is a transporter, teleporter sort of specialist, who's happy and doesn't like to get into a lot of trouble, but she's not about to leave friends behind if there's trouble going on.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Lovely.
And Matthew, well, let's hear from you.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Matthew. This is not my first time playing Trinity Continuum Aeon, thanks to Scott Kuban right there. But I am going to be playing Orin Tabernacle, a former FSA and now Aeon Society hotshot pilot and TK guy. So I'm going to move things with my mind.
Mind bullets.
Mind bullets, man.
Yeah. And let's finish it off with Drew.
Hi guys, I'm Drew Kindorf, usually from Occultist Anonymous, but now I'm not the forever DM. I get to play too. And yes, similar to Craig, this is my first run at Trinity Continuum Aeon. I'm playing Ruark Nuwalin, the biokinetic genius freelance scion, and I'm just going to put this one out here. One of his aspirations is enjoy eating something.
I mean, all right. No, that's good. That's solid.
And I'm like, who is this guy? Him. Yes, I play him. Then I read about the character. I'm like, okay.
All right. And just to let everybody out there in YouTube land know, we are actually doing a giveaway during this game. We're giving away, I believe it's a PDF of the Dystopia Rising Evolution game book for the Story Path system produced by Onyx Path. That's a really cool book. I know I backed it, so you should check it out if you like post-apocalyptic zombie horror. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. So all of you are scions. And what scions are people who have been recruited by various organizations, but primarily organizations known as the Psi Orders, which they use this super advanced biological technology to unlock the innate psionic potential in humans, and basically turn them into super-powered psychic super soldiers, so that they can fight off the enemies of humanity, which are there's a couple dozen of them, I suppose. Like, maybe not a couple. No, that's Exalted I'm thinking of. There's a handful of them that are very potent and dire and threaten to destroy or curtail the potential of humanity. And generally, they don't recruit people who suck. They recruit people who are very, pro-humanity, who believe are selfless in nature, and believe in being heroes for the sake of a better human world and humankind all over. So there is, in addition to the Psi Orders, there is an organization called the Aeon Trinity, which is basically one of the oldest, most well-funded, and most far-reaching in its influence and power philanthropic organization. It's been around since sometime in the 20s, and has existed in one form or another from then to now in the early 22nd century. And it is through the auspices of the Aeon Trinity that all of you have been gathered to one of the Aeon Trinity's headquarters in Australia, in Sydney. There is apparently something going on that needs immediate attention, and the four of you were kind of like the people in the area who were available, who meet certain profile for talents and abilities that were needed for what's going on. So through whatever Psi Order you might be loyal to, or the Aeon Trinity itself, you basically got a message that you had a mission, that something on behalf of the Aeon Trinity, and that it would behoove you and the good of humanity to come to this headquarters and receive a briefing so that you can go off and do something important. So you guys have all been gathered in this very nice, sleek, futuristic office building with a nice table. It's got a nice holographic projector. Flying cars are whizzing by. You're in one of the big. Sydney has all, of course, been converted into a gigantic arcology, so it's many, many more times its current size, both in footprint and height. So you guys are in a very tall size skyscraper. And you have been told that the person who's going to be giving your mission briefing will be meeting you soon. There's refreshments, there's a little light food, light drink, and that you are. It would be in your best interest to get to know each other and sort of connect before you guys go off and receive your briefing. So you guys have a moment alone to role play.
Oh no, role playing.
So Charles is sitting probably on the floor, cross-legged, probably fiddling with some kind of electronic gadget or something. When you all come in, and she just kind of looks up and she's like, "Hey, do you know what this is about?"
Sorry, don't have a clue. But what are you working on?
This is just a carburetor piece. I pulled it out of my last ship, and it was broken. I was trying to fix it. It's like a pet project.
Yeah, chick, you may want to decrease the sprocket in there. It probably gets gunked up. That may be an issue. And he goes over to like where there's stacks, and he without not really looking, you see one of the drinks levitate and come over to his hand, and then he pops it open and starts drinking, and he takes a seat.
Okay. She just continues to she watches that. Yeah. Okay.
Rourke is probably just casually just sitting, waiting, bored. He has things to do, and it would be terrific if we could start them. There is technically a drink. It is a bottle of water.
And so Jean-Marie's all smiles and like, hi, everybody. This could be exciting, isn't it? Group mission and stuff.
It's not every day that Aeon calls multiple people in, and I assume he kind of gives you all like a weird look, like he's trying to figure out if you're psychic or not, and he probably figures out it's true. And he's like,
Yeah, I mean, you can extend your senses a little bit, and
Mhm.
you can feel, each of you can feel the sort of the radiant psionic energy coming off of each of you. So it's actually very easy to tell, now that you're in the room with them, that each and every one of you is a psion.
I mean, technically, Rourke has like claw fingers.
Oh,
Yeah.
That could be a piece of biotech technology, which normal people can use.
Right. I am obviously weird. Like I have fur.
oh, you're actually modded.
I look like Oh yeah, here, let me give you a description of what I look like.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Okay. So I'm a human otter hybrid. So I have a solid body of muscle and fat, covered in tan fur, mottled with dark stripes. So I like definitely like I have a face and hands, but I look like I have the physique of an otter that is in a humanoid form. And it's
Interesting.
So very obvious that I am not even like not modded, but like, you know, I have like prehensile, I have very like I'm barefoot because I have like long prehensile feet. So I am obviously more than human.
Absolutely. What about everybody else? What is everybody else's characters' descriptions?
Well, since I have Rourke's here real quick, Rourke is a vampire. Rourke is a short man with translucent skin, pale as milk. Seriously, I told you. Muscles and bones strain against skin with a little protective fat. Dark circles hang beneath equally dark eyes like twin perpetual eclipses. He wears his dark brown hair either pulled back in a bun, or chopped messily short by his own sharpened fingers. His poise is precise and still. He's like an ice-covered river, frozen on the surface with never-ending movement underneath.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vampire.
Go ahead.
Vampire.
Go ahead, Greg.
All right.
Jean-Marie looks fairly standard issue human, dark skin, long hair, athletic build. She's got a fairly form-fitting but flexible jumpsuit on. But yeah, there's nothing obviously strange about her appearance.
Okay.
Oren is the most notable thing is he's probably wearing a full biosuit. Like looks like he just come out of wherever like he docked or like just arrived. So he's got a full on Enviro biosuit that's obviously formatted to him. He's he's Caucasian. He looks more like American or FSA. So he's got that tradition. He just got that Caucasian look to him. Short hair, but buzzed around the sides and just like a tough, kind of like a pseudo mohawk right here. Few tattoos, nothing that signifies like part of the Legion or anything like that. Just obviously creative tattoos that he likes to have.
Just to cut in real quick for the audience, because I totally know what you're talking about. What's the FSA?
The FSA is the Federated States of America, which is what happened to the United States of America after the cataclysmic event known as the Aberrant War, which aberrants were at one point considered like superheroes and people with incredible big powers, but then a lot of them went really crazy, and a gigantic war erupted across the planet between other aberrants and the United Nations and other various nations of the world, and eventually it ended with a kind of a ultimatum stalemate where most, if not all of them, agreed to leave the planet as opposed and to avoid having the planet nuked by China. But the legions are sorry, yeah, that was the
preamble
FSA,
there.
in the midst of all this chaos, basically went full fascist and annexed Mexico and Canada, and is the nation state of North America, and it's pretty awful.
It's the Federated States of America is what it's called. That's why it's called the FSA. Yeah, corporate and military power combined, and they control North America essentially now.
Yeah, not a great place, but yeah. So you guys are catching up, getting to know each other, sizing one another up. I would say that you guys probably have been at least casual acquaintances. There's not like a whole ton of scions. Like there's maybe like about 100,000 total population, and you guys run in the same circles. So you probably all at least have met each other once. This is the first time you've actually been sort of gathered or grouped together to do something. But as you're kind of getting to know each other and sizing each other up, the door slides open from the interior of the building, and a short, very beautiful looking, dark-skinned woman comes out. She is wearing a very well-tailored business suit, and she introduces herself as Kira Miranda. She says, thank you all for coming. Please, you don't have to sit at the table, but it might facilitate the briefing a little bit better. She kind of looks at you, Kara.
Yeah, I get up and wander over and sit down at the table, grabbing like a bag of chips on the way.
That there are lovely 0 carb but full flavor chips available, extruded out of a 3D printer. So yeah, once you all sit down, she puts a data pad on the table. It transfers to sort of the table holographic projector, and twin images of 2 people come to life in full 3D holographic form, projected out of the table. The first is a man who looks like to be of Chinese descent. He's wearing a cowboy hat and a vest with sort of a tight-fitting, silvery-looking tank top underneath. The second person, you kind of have to do a double take because they're certainly not human, but not inhuman in the way that some of you are. They're made of sort of this almost plasticky, rubbery consistency of like teals and violets and purples. It's almost as though their features have been sculpted. They look incredibly androgynous, and it's hard to tell. It looks like it was a person who was sculpted. And she says, these 2 individuals are the object of your mission. She sort of highlights the Chinese gentleman. This is Lacuna Jones. He is a former member of the Ministry of Psionic Affairs, of course, China's own Psi Order, and the one most primarily responsible for the creation and training of telepaths. Apparently, he did not fare well after being activated by the ministry, and he was able to extricate himself, and he's been on his own. He has been a person of interest in a number of troubling incidents, smuggling, potential kidnapping. Up to date, no one has been able to charge him or get any firm evidence on it, but he's not a good guy. We don't think that he's working for the best interests of humanity. She goes over and highlights the strange-looking being and says, "And this is Birdsong and Moonlight. They are a member of the Kin, our allies, in the fight against the Aberrants."
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yes. There are some of them here, but mainly they stick to Luna, and they have pretty good relations with the Chinese government as well as some other Psi orders. But a few days ago, they went missing, and along with them, a small cache of Kin-created biotechnology, mainly stuff that is useful in terraforming and surviving in hazardous environments. This is very troubling to the Kin embassy. They were definitely a member of sort of the diplomatic staff, had interest in this technology. Up until a few hours ago, we weren't sure what had happened until, and she pushes a button, there is an image of the 2 of them together in a very dark, sort of strangely lit environment. And it says, they were spotted on one of our surveillance systems on Luna. Now, this information together, China and the Kin embassy, they have put an APB out on Lacuna. They want him captured. They are operating on the assumption that he has kidnapped Birdsong and has stolen some of the technology that they were working on. And they have put together a team of ministry operatives as well as a couple of Kin warriors, and they are on the hunt for these two. Now, the reason that we've called you together is that we think that there might be something more to this. If you look at the image here, and she sort of highlights it, we don't see any sign of Birdsong being shackled or coerced or anything. They look like they're like sitting in a booth talking to each other. And we've had some reports from our friends in the ISRA, the clairsentient order, the ones capable of sort of feeling the tides of the universe and feeling the flows of what is and is not possible. They seem to indicate that there's some danger involved here, specifically for Birdsong in Moonlight, and that they don't feel like the danger is coming from Lacuna. So we have a very, very simple but may end up being involved mission for you. We need you to find these two, and we need you to find them before the ministry and Kin team do. And we need you to render Birdsong whatever assistance you deem is necessary. We don't want to indicate that you are supposed to be working at cross purposes to the ministry and Kin team. They are, of course, allies in our collective struggle, but we fear that they may be more interested in resolving the situation quickly and bringing things in behind their own particular curtains than getting at what might actually be going on. So by no means are you in conflict with them. We just want you to find them first.
So thwart them, but don't moon them while we're doing it.
Yes, that's an excellent way to put it.
Sure.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah, tons. But
So I have a question.
Certainly.
If the other teams get in our way, can we use force against them?
We would prefer that you find a diplomatic solution to that, but if you think that the mission will be compromised, that the goals that we've set before you are not achievable without use of force, then you are authorized to use limited force. Please do not use lethal force unless your own life is in danger.
all right.
And I guess if we do, don't reveal who it is that's doing it.
Yes, we don't necessarily like to operate in that way, but if needs be, that would be.
Yeah, he gives you a look like, really? You just say it. And he's but obviously, if Aeon's behind this, if we're being asked by Aeon to do this, your guys are probably thinking these guys, something more is going on, and we don't want them to hide them away of what's going on. Like something went south, and these guys may know what's going on.
We're not certain exactly.
Oh, Scott, you roboted. Yeah, you totally cut out audio-wise. Sorry, everyone. Just give us a moment.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
Oh, the joys of online play.
Hi.
There
back.
you are.
Oh, there. Yeah,
came
I'm
back.
back.
You came back.
Fantastic. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. So where were we? Yes, what we've gotten from the clairsentients is that Birdsong is in danger, and that they can't say for certain, but they don't think the danger comes from Lacuna.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha. Well,
he might be. He might be obscuring himself some way in the tides of the noetic totality, but we need to find out for sure what's happening, what the danger they are being subjected to.
and you said they were last seen in Luna?
Yeah, they were last seen in Luna. She brings up another projection. It says there's a club in sort of the heart of Olympus, of the Olympus arcology, called the Clamshell. It is a very popular place for lunar youth. It's apparently owned, operated by a member of the ISRA, Gardi, who is known to be one of the more popular divanas of the Muzian Bang school of music. It's very popular with the kids nowadays. It's I don't know. I don't get it. You know, I'm a little too old for this sort of thing, but apparently it sort of combines clairsentient vision with this sort of very trancy kind of electronic music. I don't get it. My son is all about it, but it's all the rage. So they were seen there, and that's where we have the last footage from them. So that's our lead that we have. You, of course, have your own resources at your disposal, and if there's anything that the Aeon Trinity can do to support you, you will have a line of contact to us. But we must stress that we need you to act quickly regarding this. Try and find them wherever they've gone.
So the footage that we have is from the clamshell, and that was just hours ago.
We got the footage hours ago. We believe this was from well, our time last night, but you know, Luna time. If she pulls up the thing, yeah, it was Luna in the evening at Luna on Luna time as well.
Off of his suit, a little like tortoiseshell thing seems to hover, which you all know is a mini comp, which is basically a smartphone / computer, and it pulls up and he starts scrolling through some of it, like some names, and he's like, I may have somebody that may be on station that I can talk to, but we probably have to get up there.
Yes, I mean we have arranged a quick shuttle. Although he looks over to Jean-Marie and says, like,
really,
you have your own capabilities. It's up to you whether you want to employ those now or not. It is simply a matter of expediency, but we do have a shuttle in case you wish to go more mundanely.
I can fly, so that's not going to be a problem. He looks over at John. He's like, oh, you're...
Well, I mean, if you want to take the scenic route, I mean, I don't want to, you know, harsh your mellow or whatever.
Well, I mean, I prefer to fly, but
I mean, I could get us there in seconds, or we could take a couple hours. So,
and I thought we were going to like romance this, and, you know, it was the honeymoon period. We're going to be in the ship. Yeah, fine, whatever.
Oh, you need to buy me dinner first, at least.
Will do. I mean, it's up to you guys, but I'll fly, or he can pop us there.
She.
Sorry, I apologize.
I mean,
sorry, we lost your audio, Danielle.
You're muted, Danielle.
Okay. Yeah, I realized I was muted after you started. I was like, they can't hear me. Yeah, I was like, oh, I've never been teleported before. That sounds fun.
I mean, that's the expedient way to do it. Yeah.
I think it takes the joy out of the room, but that's just me.
I'm sorry. Were you here for a pleasure cruise or to work?
Both?
I like this.
Why not?
Poor Orin.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean? But so, I mean, if hey, all kidding aside, if
I like the space just as much as anyone. I mean, if that's what we got to do, then.
But if we need to get there and get this started, I got no problem. So we can pop there if we need to.
So the way teleportation works in Aeon is that it's not necessarily bound to distance or time or anything like that. It's based off your personal familiarity with where you're going. So in this day and age, it's more than common for people to go to Luna on business fairly regularly. So you probably have like a place that you're familiar enough that you can visualize it and form the connection to it in order to open up the portal that could take all of you there. But let's go ahead, and if you're guys are going to teleport there, let's make ourselves a roll. It's going to be your psi rating plus your transportal psionic mode.
So that's 6.
Mm-hmm.
First I roll, Craig. No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
None.
No pressure.
I'm sure it'll be fine. 60-10, right?
Yep. And it's
right. Kirk rolls all the high rolls for our game, so this is
all right. Good times. It's 8 or higher is a success.
One success.
One success. Yeah, it's not It's not incredibly difficult. You have the image of your head. It's basically like the image that you can most readily find is essentially like the main promenade of Olympus, which is the big city on the moon. And it's a place that you as a teleporter have been several times. That they kind of like, if you're going to teleport here. It's kind of out of the way. You won't run into people. We won't surprise people, but it's just kind of like this quiet, out of the way place that they have given. You've either been there several times, or there's actually a way to sort of encode psychic impressions of locations into biotechnology. And you can become familiar with it through that. So you focus your psychic energy, open up this sort of shimmering portal that connects the space between Sydney, Australia and Olympus on the moon. And all of you are able to just simply step through.
Excellent.
Cool.
Yeah. So you guys, there's this.
I'm going to stop Oren before we step through. Do you want to hold my hand so it's at least a little romantic? And then
I've done this before. It's just not me, man. And he just walks through like he's just looking at you like, and he just walks through and doesn't seem to bother him. He's just like,
yeah.
Trace looks at that interaction. She's like, I'm not sure what just happened, but I'll hold your hand, Jean-Marie, if you like.
Sure, why not?
Oh,
excellent.
So you guys are sort of this out of the way public area on Olympus, and you guys have basically sort of the location information for the clamshell, and Oren, you said you had a contact that you might want to get in touch.
Yeah. I was gonna see now that we're a lot quicker than I expected, but so just. Probably gonna do the clam show first, and then I'll touch base see what we find out there.
Sure. Okay, so are you guys making your way to the clam show?
Should we go in a big group, because we look like narcs?
True.
We all arrive as a big group together and march into the nearest hotspot.
That is a good question.
Don't march. Maybe just walk like normal people. Like people walk in groups all the time.
So that is a good question. Are you guys gonna make any effort to look like you're going to you belong to the place you're going to? Do you get dressed in club gear or high fashion? Or are you going in your very utilitarian Scion on the go on a mission clothes?
Oh man.
I mean, I guess I could change if you really want me to. I guess we could do this undercover thing.
Yeah, I guess I need to get a lockbox. It's gonna take me a minute to get this stuff off. So
I've got two questions about that, actually.
Sure.
I have edges. One of which is labeled "always prepared." Can you tell me, do I happen to just always be prepared to go to the club?
No, that's not quite what that means.
That's what I figured. That
you always have the right little item you kind of need for a situation.
It's a combat thing.
Oh, it is?
Okay, cool.
Kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's boop, 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 boop. I'm in the wrong place. That doesn't help at all.
Remember, folks, if you're at home and you're just trying to play a game, remember, just ask Danielle. She's got nothing else to do. She made the game, and she will happily... Don't do that. Leave Danielle alone.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you just can't be affected by ambushes.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's it. I pulled it up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
The second question is, what the hey is psychomorphing and transmogrify? Because I know clearly I could mess with my fingers because that's in the description, but...
So that is two of your psionic aptitudes, and they are basically, you're a biokinetic, which means that you can use psychic energy to change your body in different ways.
It's way cool.
It is pretty stinking awesome. Let me just look up the specifics of what.
Yeah, there are two modes.
There are two of the three modes that you.
Which one did you have again? Psychomorphing.
I have four things listed here. Basic is biosense and form mastery, and then the ones with dot values are psychomorphing and transmogrify.
Okay. So biosense basically enhances your inherent psychic ability to sort of sense psychic energy, and you are very good at detecting life. You
Cool.
can tell if there's some living things around you. Form mastery is basically you have specific forms that you shape into that you can sort of easily transition to. And let's see here. So psychomorphing, that is basically your ability to enhance your own body in various strange and different ways. You can sort of you can shift around your physical features or physical attributes with the adjust power.
Yeah.
And you can also like enhance yourself, and you can eventually do stranger and weirder things. And whereas transmogrify is literally like it. If you're familiar with Preroll, it's vicissitude. It is the literal ability to shape your body in strange and different ways.
That's like how you got the claws.
That's how I got the claws.
Is transmogrifying your fingers into claws.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Huge.
So not necessarily, possibly useful for disguise, but probably not really what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Rourke is a complete stick in the mud, and like I'm not changing clothes. Like when you all are ready, actually, he probably may just like go ahead and be like, it's fine, I'll be the narc. You all can be covert, and I can either go in after you all get settled, or I can go in before, and then you guys can blend in.
Well,
I just
look, I'm gonna change. You should too. Like, it'll be easier if we're all together. Come on.
he's, I mean, is anyone here a telepath? Telepath. He's like pointing his finger at each person.
Tell that.
No, that's not a thing I
Damn,
do.
that would make this so much easier.
But why?
So we could talk to each other. Just
Oh,
like,
I mean, we could just get like some ear comms.
You could get some ear comms.
Have all
That's
this
not
technology.
Yeah, but I don't want to use my school powers.
But I want to. No, he's like, yeah, just give me a minute. Let me go rent a locker so I can put this away, and I'll get some normal clothes. And I've got the wealth edge, so I'm gonna just spend some money, basically get essentially a locker to put the suit in, and get some like normal looking clothes.
Yeah, I mean, you can also like just you can rent a small hotel room for the the evening and just have a place to put your stuff and change.
Yeah.
That's probably more useful and easily available. And you can also you can kid everyone out in the latest Luna fashion for going to the club.
Yeah, you're looking like a polka dot guy, I think. Polka dot lady, polka dot stripes for you. Yeah.
No, solids stripes clash with my stripes.
Oh, that's true. Well, you mean I trust you able to handle yourself, so I'm not much of a fashionista up here. He gets changed and ready to go.
Cool. So you guys have the location information. The club wouldn't actually open for another couple of hours anyway, so you guys are able to take a little bit of time. You definitely can pick up some ear comms from sort of a gadget store. You guys show up, and the entrance to Clamshell is actually it's very odd because there's kind of like it's kind of got a bulkhead door, and then you go in and there's this big empty room that has the floor is you definitely can sense that it is not just normal material. Rourke, you can tell that like this floor is alive in some way. That it has the sense of some large piece of biotechnology. And just sort of people are kind of milling around. They seem to be like sort of waiting their turn. When kind of a voice comes over the speakers that says, ladies and gentlemen and everything in between and beyond, welcome to the Clamshell. Now, this evening we are going to be featuring the best in Muzzy and Bang by Adivani Ghazi. Now, we do ask that anyone who has pre-gamed with any psychoactive substance, we do have a little chamber and a little pick-me-up. We don't want you harshing the vibe within. Trust me, the environs and low-level telepathic effects are more than a trip for anyone, darling. And so as you're kind of waiting, you see a couple people kind of like sheepishly go off into a side corner, and they take a little like biotech created sober up pill, and then they start letting people in. And the way they start letting in is like true to its name. sections of the floor open up like a clamshell. And one or two at a time, people queue into these clamshells, and then the clamshell closes on top of them and then sucks down into the floor.
All right.
That's new.
I'm ready for this.
Like I'm over here going, is this normal technology or is this
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is normal tech.
Yeah.
Actually, like you've probably seen even weirder shit in Brazil where they have an entire city that's made of biotechnology. Like this is for you. This is pretty tame.
Yeah.
I need to go pick this book up, guys.
Yeah, it's real good.
Yes, you do.
Absolutely.
Buy my book.
Buy mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so eventually, so who's going to be first in line to get into one of these clamshells? All right,
Yeah,
fantastic.
I think Charles is like, oh, this looks so cool.
Yeah. So yeah, Jean-Marie, you queue up to one of these clamshells. You sort of step in. It opens up, and there's like kind of like a little space to settle in, and then it is the weirdest sensation. It's not wet, but it's very slippery and slick. Like the material is just innately slick. So you almost feel wet, but it just sort of like swallows you down into the ground. And you kind of are passed through this very biological kind of like moving tunnel that moves you down into the club itself.
Something akin to a digestive tract, I suppose.
Kind of like a digestive tract, only not as filled with stomach acid.
Sure.
All right, who'd be going next?
Me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you jump into
Definitely.
the next thing, and yeah.
Yeah. I'm like excited.
Mhm.
Otter senses tingling.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I guess I'd go next, and he's not reluctant to go, and he's actually like, "Oh, okay, this will be interesting," and then he slides on in.
Okay, and then I guess that would leave Rourke as the last one.
Yeah, I feel like Rourke let everybody else go because like he's the one who's going to stand out in the club environment because like the otter person, the happy-go-lucky person, the vampire. And not like the cool, hot, Toreador or the, no, this is the like Nosferatu looking guy who he probably got a little dressed up, but let's be honest, this would be like, yeah, hi, narc. So he let them go and then like was like one or two behind.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you come in. So eventually you all come in and you are in, you can kind of tell like this is a pretty big area. It's probably was a converted shipping storage area. And it's just it's kind of claustrophobic because there's the various individual rooms are actually pretty small, but they all kind of flow into each other in very organic and unstandard ways. Like you wouldn't want your house to be laid out like this because it's very kind of confusing, and there are rooms that sort of loop back in on themselves, and it's all entirely biotech in here. And as you come in, you are aware of two sensations. The first is this very sort of lo-fi but very trancy music that's playing. It's not very high, it's not very fast at the moment. The second is this very, very slight sort of invitational psychic pressure on all of your minds. Like you're feeling a very, very unfocused telepathic contact that you can very easily reject and not let into your mind, but it's just kind of there throughout the entire room.
Rourke is gonna like basically tune in for lack of a better term and be like, okay, what the heck is this?
Okay, as soon as you let it in, your vision of this place, like this is a pretty tripped out kind of environment, but it is like you just instantly like are hitting at the peak of a hit of acid. Like the walls start moving in strange ways. Your mind starts wandering through like different times and places, some of which you don't actually have memories of. And you are just sort of involved. It's not very intense at the moment, but you have a feeling, you kind of connect like, oh, when the music starts really going, this is going to be a problem.
Right. Yeah, it's like, okay, what is this? Okay, never mind. Turn that
Yeah,
off.
and then you can sort of like take a moment, and it's actually very easy for you to just sort of like, nope, opt out. But that is what happens when any of you let this psychic contact into your personal mental space.
Cool.
Yeah, actually,
Rurik, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, Oren is actually going to keep that tuned in the back of his brain. He's digging it. It's low key, sort of like, all right, let's see what this is all about.
Yeah.
Rurik is going to head, by the way, to see if he can locate the booth.
Okay. All right. Like I said, this is a pretty confusing space. So this is. So let's see. What's a good roll for this?
Got a roll? Oh gosh.
Yeah. Oh no, it's real confusing in here.
I'm imagining sort of like, think of like a really decked out like Halloween, like a haunted house,
right?
Because it
Yeah.
always loops back onto itself and it keeps so that you
flashing lights,
flashing
and loud
lights.
noises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh sure.
So this is definitely going to be an enigmas roll, and
Oh, no,
you
not
get
that.
to choose which of your which
How are you doing this?
yeah, how are you doing this? What attribute are you going to pair with this roll?
Definitely intellect.
Okay.
Like this is going to be brute force, especially he does have 3 dots of photographic memory.
Okay.
I don't know if that's tracked by dots, but whatever, it's listed 3 dots.
Yeah,
and he's literally it like checklist. Here, no, here, no, here, no, here. And he's going to hit
All right.
every single one of them and just be super methodical about it.
Cool. Yeah, give me that roll. Intellect plus enigmas.
Cool. It's just 8 dice.
Yeah, no.
And the re-roll is okay. So we got 3 successes.
3 successes. Yeah, it takes you a little bit. You kind of have to like go through the same room 3 times because it looks like the room you're looking for, but you realize it absolutely isn't. But eventually, yeah, you find this sort of out of the way place that has these little like budded off conversation areas that are sort of self-contained in and of themselves, but the whole room exists to have these little booth rooms in them.
Sure, the kind of the classic like modern contemporary little booth to sit in
absolutely.
kind of place.
Yeah. And like the music is a little bit quieter in here. And you know, you can even like look from the architecture, like thinking back to the experience that you had when you tuned in, like that stuff is dialed down a little bit too.
Okay. Rourke will definitely get over the little little combi that we've got and give a step-by-step directions. Okay, if you're at the front, you go left, right, forward, left, right, forward. You know, to get here.
He's next to Jean-Marie, like he's like, man, he's a buzzkill. Like, man.
Charis is just wandering around, and we'll get there eventually.
That's fine.
Yeah, you have to like confront the cosmic totality that is the truth that we're all gonna die. That's kind of like a swirling centerpiece of the thing. But yeah, no, you can get around that eventually.
Right.
But once there, if he can actually identify, and again, I have no idea about the rules, so I'm just winging this. But I do have psychometry, clairsentience.
Okay.
Which, with my basic understanding of this, I'm gonna try and get a read of this booth from.
Okay.
That's totally appropriate. That's exactly what you use.
So that is going to be a you roll your psi plus your psychometry dots.
Oh boy.
Oh, and we do start with a pool of momentum, right?
Yes, I believe it's equal to the number of players.
Yes.
Oh, 5. Okay, just 5.
Oh, 5.
Okay,
Okay.
You're a player.
I'm
I'm gonna have to let my Scion folks know.
And for because I know Greg and Drew, these are points that are for the group, and you can say, "Hey guys, can I use a point?" And you can add dice to your roll if you just want to use it.
You can also use them to use your skill tricks, which are nifty little things that you can do.
Yep.
I'm actually okay rolling 3 dice on this because I mean statistically I'll get a success, right?
We'll see.
And just to make sure I'm looking at this right, psychometry is an auxiliary mode, and so it I guess caps out at 2 dots.
Yeah, it caps out at you're only able to have one level of in that particular mode.
Okay.
So that's as high as it will ever get for you, because you were triggered in the biokinesis Prometheus tank, which which hard set you to being capable in the biokinetic.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Biokinesis.
Cool. That actually works out. I have 2 successes. One was a 10 and re-rolled for a 1.
Oh boy.
But still, I'll take the 2.
Hey.
So you sort of sift through the past, and you sort of you're looking for things that are kind of hot spots, like things that flare out in the psychic background noise of this place. And you do find 2 potent psychic presences within the past few days that were sitting in this booth and having a very meaningful, important conversations. So you gain a sense of these 2 individuals.
Cool. But not enough because this is not post-cognition. I'm not looking back at what happened.
Yeah.
I just know, okay, this is definitely a place.
Yeah, you gain a familiar connection to these individuals, which is actually pretty powerful. Having a connection to someone, and being able to use other psychic abilities on them is actually pretty choice.
Problem is, I don't know if I got any of their psychic abilities.
Biokinetics are very much about the self. They're all very insular.
Would biosense basically enable me to pick them out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
If you were in your range of attunement, with a familiar connection, it would be much easier to find them using your biosense.
Cool. And what kind of range is that?
It's based on your psi rating.
Yep.
Okay, which is 2.
It's probably 2. Maybe close, actually.
Yeah, I think that might be close range, which is sort of your...
Which is, melee range, effectively.
Right. But I think it's a little bit longer than that, because attunement tends to be pretty
it's short.
Broad. It's short? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, short range.
That's good.
So 30 meters or something like that.
I just flipped the book open to it. So
fantastic. Good times. All right. Yeah. So Rourke vibes on this booth for a bit. What are the rest of you guys doing?
So I'm going to wander around. I'm trying to get kind of a sense of why they picked this place. And I'm guessing it's because it's so hectic and chaotic that it's easy to have a private conversation without people overhearing you. But I kind of want to know if there's someone or something specific about this place that they picked it for, and if anybody here might have seen them or know them. So I'm trying to look for the people who work here.
Ah, okay.
Oh, you kind of, okay. You're going to do something similar to I was thinking about doing.
All right. I would say that this is probably going to be a culture roll.
Cool.
To kind of
cool.
Check out the vibe. And how are you going to go about doing that?
I am going to use, I really feel like it should be cunning, even though that's terrible for me.
Well, I guess it should be cunning then, shouldn't it?
It really feels like that. So yeah, I'm going to roll my 3 dice and hope that I get something out of it. Let's see.
You can request of the group to spend some momentum if you want to do something.
Nah, I don't think it's worth it because other people can also do this thing.
Fair enough. Just to double check, because you brought up momentum, we get a point of momentum when we fail rolls, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So if I fail this, I will just generate some momentum for the group.
And we can hold, I believe, our number of players
Double.
times 3 total momentum at any one time.
I have generated a statistical 1 success.
Okay.
On my 3 dice.
Fantastic. So yeah, you are able to identify, you find someone. It's actually pretty difficult to do because it's just kind of a mass of bodies. But you pick out someone who's wearing very similar clothes to everybody else who's here, but you just see in their demeanor that they're here to keep an eye on things. And they're much less into the groove. They're basically paid to be a trip sitter. But
sure.
yeah, you identify that person. They're kind of in a corner, just sort of with eyes on the room.
Okay. I'm probably not going to try to approach them myself because I know that if my appearance can sometimes put people off. So I'm going to probably be Hey, Oren, I don't know if you or Jean-Marie, if you wanted to talk to people, but I think I've found like an employee or something that might have seen these people.
No, that's good. Great.
I'm not good at talking.
Okay, no problem. Not everyone's good at everything. Jean-Marie, what about you?
I'll bail on the conversation, but go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I think then, if it's okay, I'll take the spotlight for a second. I will basically start like mingling and like getting to know people, like straight up smoozing, and then I will probably make my way over to the one that Charez, is that right? Chaz? I forgot.
Charis.
Charis indicated, and try to like sort of like see if they'll be personable, and I can start seeing what this place is about, and maybe finding some information about these people that were here the other night.
You make your way over to this person. They're a very athletic looking young person, wearing this sort of skin tight halter top and sort of holographic hair ribbons braided into their hair.
Oh, my second girlfriend. Got it. Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
But yeah, they are. They're like, oh, hey man, how can I help you?
Oh no. I just really like the vibe of this place. This place is great. First time I've been here.
Oh yeah, no, it's a great place.
Yeah, we just I'm wondering who else is like this seems like a happening spot. You probably get a lot of different people in here all the time.
Oh man, yeah, we get all sorts. It's we're trying to make this a place where everyone who's anyone wants to make their way through.
Yeah, I actually heard from Buddy, and that's why I'm here. I'm hoping I get to see him. I heard one of the Quinn or Chin have been around. Like, I wanted to see if I could spot one of them.
All right, I'm gonna need a persuasion roll for you.
I suck at that.
Oh,
but I will be
momentum generation.
Yeah. I actually am going to ask for a die from the pool. He's actually want to succeed, but I'm going to use presence. Like, I'm just being super personable and like in his face about it. This entire thing.
Cool, I dig it.
Okay, so that's my 5 dice.
That's respectable.
All right, that's cool. I'll take that. All right, 2 successes.
2 successes. Yeah, they are basically like, yeah, actually, we did have one of the kin in here earlier. Funniest thing, I mean, they aren't known to be like super down, but it's cool. It's good for the club.
Like, he was here for a while, or is he going to bring? Do you know if was that the first one he ever got?
No, yeah, that was the first one. It was like, oh geez, I guess it was like last night, early in the evening.
All right, dig it. That's cool. Hopefully, I'll thank you very much. I hope I spot him again. That'd be really cool. I'd actually like to get a pic.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, they seem like they seem pretty quiet. They I don't think they got into the groove.
If you know what I mean. I understand.
But yeah.
So okay, go ahead.
That's okay. How many successes did you roll on that? 2. It's like, actually, yeah, I think they talked to the boss.
Oh, who's the boss?
Oh, Gardy, yeah. They're the Divana. They're the person who this is kind of their thing. Like, they kind of have ownership in the place, but yeah, they're about to really start their set.
Can you introduce me?
Kind of steps back, looks you up and down. Says, what's it worth to you?
He'll actually it'll be very slick because he can't help himself. He like some creds will come out of like telekinetically come out of his pocket and just slide it in telekinetically into his pocket.
All right, I'm not even gonna make you roll for that. That's pretty goddamn slick. They look at you. They're like
suddenly extremely impressed.
Then he gives them a wink
like their arm just materializes around your wrist. And they're all like, absolutely. You know what, Gardy, I think we'll probably actually really want to talk to you.
Great. I'm going to be like over there when they're free. Just let me know. All right. Just come and get me.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I'll let them know that, one of your type is here and they'll probably make time in their set to come say hi.
Excellent. You're awesome. Great. And he'll wander over to where the rest, like where Rurik is, because he wants to see that area.
Yeah, you've been able to sort of sift through things. It's taken you a little bit, just because there's so many people to sort of cycle through. But you have that connection. You have that familiarity with these two very clearly psychic beings.
Gotcha. And to quickly clarify, meta-wise, like telekinetics and things like that are super rare, or mostly rare.
Not really. Actually, the telekinetics are the most common of the psions.
Okay.
Because that's actually the most it's the most prevalent psionic aptitude. But psions in general are pretty rare.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Yeah, there's like 10 billion people on the planet. Where there's only like 100,000 psions, period.
Right.
So they are a very small population.
So you're able to vibe off of that. What about the rest? Like, so Oren went off to talk to them, to the employee. What would John Marie be up to in this?
I've got under aptitude basic spatial sense.
Okay.
Is that knowing?
Yeah. It's
knowing,
basically your psychic senses are tuned to the physical space. Like you can focus for a little bit and have just a physical map of your surrounding areas, sort of in your psychic mind space.
So we had a hologram of them in a booth.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to match that up with what I know of the layout of the area to figure out which booth that they were in, and then look for other booths that might have had eyes on that booth. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it looks like Rourke has found the booth because he's like vibing in it. But yeah, you're able to sort of map this area, and it seems like this place is designed so that people in the booths have a little bit of privacy.
Mm-hmm.
But you can definitely tell like where the surveillance camera that caught them was.
And like, just to let you know where I'm going with this, I'm thinking that they either meant for that to happen, or they wanted to be seen, or because this seems like it's a fairly convenient thing to happen. So I'm wondering if there was other people in the room that might have been with them keeping an eye. So I'm looking for other places where people could have been seeing that booth from where they are in the area.
There's a couple of different booths that could have an angle on that booth, but in general, like it's unless you're like standing in front of the booth,
right?
It's hard to get a really good look into any of these booths.
Okay.
So you're just sort of filling out the space of it. So I'd say Oren probably comes back to the group at this point.
Okay. He's like, he comes up to you guys. Did Sherez like show up at the booth?
I probably eventually, yeah.
Okay. He's like, all right. I got an in with the owner of the place, who's likely wants to meet Scion. So I think they are as one. I think they had, and supposedly from the security here that they talked. What was the guy's name again? The guy we're looking for?
Lacuna Jackson.
Lacuna
Jackson and Birdsong and Moonlight are the two people that you're looking for.
Lacuna and the owner had a conversation, so they'll probably be around here shortly. What else did you find out? Anything?
I've got a sense of them. So if we come across them, and actually, thank you for reminding me. The whole the kin thing scolded just because my genre savvy. Mm-hmm. Are they shapeshifters or are they like pretty well in that form?
That's actually, let me see what a good role for that would be.
Always with these roles, man.
Oh, I know. It's like it's a role-playing game or something. You don't just have infinite knowledge. That's going to be, I would say that's going to be a culture roll.
Okay.
And you can tell me what you want to roll with that.
Sure. Sorry, I'm busy downloading and buying Trinity Continuum.
It's a real cool game, man.
Whoops. Cool. So that's a culture, and I hate to lean on it, but just knowing things feels intellect.
Yeah, no, that's right. I would go with that. So you can make that roll.
Path of least resistance.
Because I have no culture. So we're gonna lean on my 5 intellects.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I will take the 2 successes.
So yeah, the kin, it's not very well known. You're not certain what the kin actually look like, but it is known that the bodies that they show are actually like biotech constructed suits. That there's something inside of them that pilots that suit that does not look human at all. But what the kin actually look like isn't actually widely known.
Cool. So it is potential that I may actually need to have this biosense because the image we saw may not actually
It
be.
might not. They might not. They might be able to change their outside appearance. That's true.
Mhm.
Cool. Yeah. So we can spot that. I can spot that.
And he, as we're like sitting there, he's like, all right, got a drink, and it's like been moved over to him so he can have a drink. He's like sipping on a straw while it just floats in the air, and he's like, I actually had an idea. We got a low grade network going here. I bet if we all hijacked into it, we may be able to pick up anything they were thinking about in this area. You guys want to give
without
that
a
a shot?
telepath in the group.
Yeah, we don't have a telepath, but maybe we could, with our powers combined.
Let me open this book that I just got. How?
Yeah.
What?
So something that scions can do, and it's very common, is they basically either in a psychic network or by being close proximity to each other, can link their powers together and do even more powerful things to get certain things done. They are by our powers combined, we can do X, Y, and Z.
I mean, they can do that, but it's also you have to. Your powers have to be relevant to the thing that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And
That's
so
fair.
you've got a biokinetic, a vitakinetic, a teleporter, and a psychokinetic. That to me does not say hijacking into a
Yeah,
telepathic
there's
network.
not a lot of overlap there.
I was trying.
Yeah. You can combine modes you already have,
Yeah.
but you can't make up nodes out of the thin air.
No kumbaya circle. Sad.
But
Yeah.
I would like everyone to roll their attunement, which is your psi plus your highest mode rating right now for me.
All right.
7 dice.
Can you translate that for me a little bit?
So your psi rating, which is
Yeah.
should be on your character sheet, and then your modes, which are your powers.
Under aptitudes.
Under aptitude, just the highest dot rating you have.
So it should be 4 dice for most of us. If anybody has I have it, but I don't know if other people do. If anybody has a favored mode as an edge,
Mhm.
you get you get 2 enhancements when you're using that mode. And if I will ask Scott if he would be okay applying that enhancement to attunement rolls as well.
Sure, I'll allow that.
Okay.
Then thank you for Danielle. Thank you for asking me that because I actually applied to my role.
So I've got Transportal 3 and Psi 3, so I'm rolling 6.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Just everyone let me know how many successes you receive.
3.
Okay. 3.
2.
1. Oh boy.
All right. count that.
Dang it, Craig.
So all of
Hey,
you
edges.
Yeah, all of you can detect you can detect another psionic presence close by. There is definitely a scion nearby. But then all of you do detect that you start to detect other psychic presences coming into this area.
Okay.
Those of you that got more successes can spend those successes to get more fine details about that information.
Yes, please. I would also, because I have Okay, they'd have to be in short range. How close is that? Like,
I would say like at least one of these new senses are within short range.
okay. I guess as they're coming in, we're gonna as they come into our range or whatever, I'm just gonna extend my own like Curian eye to see if they are like like healthy, but not just like physically healthy, but mentally healthy, because like I can't detect life specifically, but I can detect health. So I want to make sure, because I have a feeling that like the kin is in danger and it could have to do with something, so just going to see is like, are these people healthy and doing under mental duress? Are any of them like high on the like psychic stress levels?
Go into the psychic stress levels.
Right.
So you send out that attunement. You look for sort of the psychic health. You focus in on the psychic signature that you can detect, and you don't sense any like physical problems with them. You sense their mind is very like determined. Like you get a definite sense of that, like they are having sort of like high stress, high awareness, but it is you think that this is not unhealthy for them. It's just a very rigid sense to who they and what they are. Oren, are you going to be sending any successes to getting these?
Yeah. How many of them are there?
How many of them are there? You sense, in addition to the one that is kind of like was always around you guys, you sense that there are 2 new psychic signatures here.
Okay, we got. He'll let everyone know we got two of them here, 2 new ones. I think they may be our other team.
Okay, and you both got 3 successes, so you both have an additional success that you can spend to try and get an additional detail.
Do I recognize them? Has anybody I've ever met before?
No, you don't think you've ever been in close contact with.
Okay.
This is totally cool if you say no, because it's maybe beyond the scope of just attunement. Do they feel like they're obviously psychic, or they have a signature? Do you think they're primarily like telepaths, like are those 2 new ones? Yeah,
you sense kind of like you're able to sort of key into like the ambient telepathic thing, and it's kind of like the ability to detect a shark moving through waters. Like there's a bigger telepathic presence.
When I find that out, he's actually going to switch his connection to the field in this club off, because he's like, nope, that's a back door right there. So he like shuts it off. He's like, those are definitely from the ministry.
Doggos.
Dougie.
So you say that they are
I'll let him know. I think they're ministry, which are the main telepath group.
Right. We don't really have a problem with them.
No, they're your allies.
But yeah. And this might require a roll. But how, like, if we're doing this, and how much are we stepping on toes here, and how much are they going to appreciate us doing the same thing that they're doing?
They're not going to appreciate us.
They're probably.
I don't figure.
Yeah, they probably aren't going to appreciate it. I mean, it's a question of jurisdiction,
right?
Your scions, you're in good standing with your orders and your organizations. You're in good standing with the Aeon Trinity. The Aeon Trinity is well within its purview to send operatives to try and investigate this situation. But you definitely get the sensation that these guys think that they're in charge of this. Like this is their problem to deal with. So while they might not have any sort of legal or authority to tell you guys to go screw yourselves, they're not going to be happy about finding that you're also on this trail.
Sure. So Ruark is going to bring that up and go, I know, Oren, you've got a connection here, or a setup here.
So we should bail?
No.
Potentially that, or more specifically, I can go delay them.
Do that, because I think we need to go to get the owner and get out of here.
Right.
Because go ahead.
Well, I was thinking, clearly they'll know that we're here just like we know they're here, but they're not necessarily going to know why we're here. We have that advantage over them. Like we know who they are and why they're here, but they don't know who we are and why we're here.
I don't know that that's necessarily a long leap for somebody to make.
But regardless, if these guys are who I think they are, and they get the owner, that guy's brain is going to become Swiss cheese.
So you think we should take him and go?
If we want to stay ahead of these guys, if we can do it discreetly, great. Like that's how we have to do it.
So
Because
as you
if
guys
not,
are as you guys are having this conversation, that employee that you talked to, like kind of comes over to your booth and it says like, it looks like the boss has a time to talk
excellent.
to you.
Yeah, his facial expressions like switch on a dime. He's like, so he looks up and he's like, "Yeah, sure. My buddy's gonna come with us. They're big fans too, so we're just gonna go talk to him."
Yeah, yeah. The boss said that you definitely want to come talk to them right now.
Got it.
And so we were good with Ruark staying and chatting with these folks and delaying them a little bit.
I think that if we think that they're just gonna like bowl over us, which they probably will, that seems like the best way.
Buy us some time. Just be careful.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. So yeah, you guys are led. You kind of go. She goes. The employee goes over to a wall and like runs their hand over it, and it kind of a seamless door just sort of opens before you, and you guys sort of are taken into sort of the back channel rooms that sort of interconnect through. And in opposition to the way the outside, like the exterior of the club that you guys were in, this is no nonsense. These are like straight line, clearly marked pathways that take you exactly where you need to go. And with a few moments, you're led up a set of stairs into this sort of oblong chamber that has filled with holographic projections of every room of the club. There's like this sophisticated biotech DJ equipment set up, and this very, very like almost ethereal looking person. Like they just, their demeanor, the way they're dressed, the way they look, it's like they're not entirely part of this universe. Is the era that they go, and they have like this big headset on, and are sort of running their hands over all these various glowing orbs, managing sort of the flow of the music, the lights, the sounds, the sort of the psychic ambience. And like they just hold up a finger for just 1 second, and then they kind of bring everything in the club to a crescendo and then cool it down into more of that lo-fi kind of pleasant, not active sound and mental scape. And they pull it off, and they turn around to you and say like, well, I think isn't it just right about time then, isn't it?
I think so, buddy.
Hi. Yeah. I was expecting you guys. Got here a little just on time. What can I do for y'all?
Is this one of the other side presences?
Yeah, now that you're in direct presence with them, you definitely sense a very active psionic presence from them.
Is there someplace else we can have this conversation?
No, not really. I've got the set to do, time is money, and I got to get the vision out to the kids.
So you're the one who generates all of this.
Yeah, it's my vision, it's my talents, my ability to peer into the noetic totality and get the vibe that everyone really needs to get into to get where they're going,
Oh, then if you know where while we're here and where we're going, where do we need to go next?
I'm afraid it doesn't work that way. I mean, I could look, but why don't you ask me what you're gonna ask me?
He looks like he's developing the biggest headache. Yeah, we need to. There's what was that guy's name? He looks to Ruark because he knows you have like a really good brain.
Works out.
Works.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
So Jean-Marie steps in. Lacuna Jackson was here
Yeah.
last night with somebody named Birdsong in Moonlight. And
yeah,
we're trying to help them. There's some other people that are coming that aren't necessarily interested in helping them.
We want to find them so that we could help Birdsong.
Cool. Yeah, she's in quite a bit of danger, isn't she?
That's what we've heard.
Yeah, that's what I got when I was talking to her. Not the best. And I gotta say, I do have this sense. I could, you kind of know, there's one group of you who are looking to help, and one group of you not help, but which one are?
Fine. Yeah, we want to
That's the
help them. They
question.
want to find them.
Yeah, but that's the question. How do I know which one are you? I mean, that's what they'd say to me if they were trying to find them, isn't it?
I'm sure have you have ways to tell.
Back in the club, Rourke, you how are you comporting yourself? What's your plan of attack for trying to get into these people and delay them?
Rourke is literally at the booth.
Okay.
And like just absolutely passive face, sitting, like fully expecting them to come in and like putting in place, hands on the table. He's not a threat, and just like waiting for them to arrive. And is planning, and we can happily role play this out, but
Sure.
to just absolute bureaucracy BS and like pull down, basically request as much information as he can, walk things through. He'll even tell them, oh yeah, they were here, and this is the psi sense, and he's just going to inundate them with information and be maliciously compliant.
I don't know if you've seen the What We Do in the Shadow show.
Sadly not.
With the psychic
Yes.
vampire.
Yes.
Colin Robinson. That's what I'm.
Colin Robinson is amazing.
he is the devil, but he's amazing.
He's amazing.
But yeah, so within moments of your compatriots leaving this area, two very straight-laced looking a man and a woman come into the room. They're wearing like okay club gear. It's like club gear that they just print generic club gear from the fashion printer. That was tailored to them. It's not impressive at all, but they just sort of walk in, scan the room, eyes lock on you, lock on the booth. They kind of share a look with each other. The man goes off to another part of the club, and the woman just sort of walks right up to the booth and says, "What are you doing here?"
Investigating on behalf of the Aeon Society.
That's really not necessary. We have this.
The Aeon Society.
Yeah. She flashes her insignia of the Ministry of Psionic Affairs and says, "We're working directly with the Quicken Embassy. We don't need partners on this."
Okay, can I see that?
Absolutely. You're tapping into that bureaucracy brain, like. Yeah,
Yep. Let me look that over. Yep. No, that looks real. Actually, let me roll for and like he's do the full inspection. Yep. Yeah. Okay, that looks real. And no, the Aeon Society believes that my investigation was necessary, and I'm more than happy to share what information I've discovered at this point, as well as share information with you. I know you don't think that this is necessarily going to be helpful, but since my supervisors disagree, I'm here to be as helpful as I can be. And like it is the like
oh yeah, no.
the crookedest wrong smile.
Yeah, it really
Yes,
is perfect. I love it.
I'm here to help.
I'm here to help.
Helping or hurting.
You get into this like terribly frustrating loop with this person, and like just going back and forth over like jurisdictional issues about what's appropriate, like trying to get information out of them. We'll get back to you and see if you can get any fruit out of that. But yeah, back in the up in the DJ. Up in the DJ enclave, says like, well, like I said, how do I know that you're here? You're the ones that are really here to push things in the right direction.
Well, for one, we're having a conversation. We're not just, Swiss cheesing your brain.
I mean, if a couple of blokes came in and Swiss cheesed my brain, that would be a serious thing. I doubt anyone would be so gauche.
Have you met the Ministry?
Oh yeah, they're a little uptight, but I've had lovely relationships with many telepaths and many members of the Ministry.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, man, all I can say is we just want to help because if the kin is in trouble, we don't want an incident, and they're good allies of ours. And I mean,
All right.
Also,
Well,
those other people are here, and so
he's like,
either.
oh, I'm very well aware. I'm very well aware of who's walked into my club.
Oh, I'm sure you are, but this
but-
just does put us on a time limit.
So what I'm gonna need someone to make an empathy roll, to display your good intentions, essentially. So
Not a strong suit of mine.
I've got a dot of empathy.
That's one more dot than me.
Yeah, I have a little bit of empathy, but I don't know how this individual feels about people with my sort of augmentations, as I could sometimes hinder any kind of social roles for
If
me.
you want to assist me, that'd be.
Yeah, you can do it that way. You can lend assistance to Orin if you want him to make the roll.
Feel free to take some momentum too.
Yeah.
Then
absolutely.
Yeah, then I will do, I guess, a teamwork action in which I roll to see if I can add a success to you.
Cool.
Which I am going to use presence and empathy.
That's
Okay.
fair.
That's basically what I was going to do because we're being very earnest and honest with him.
Okay, so I can add an enhancement to your action.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Thank you. I will take 1 from the momentum, so that means I think we have 3 left.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So I will do that, and you give me an enhancement. See if I have anything else that may help. Not really. Ooh, that was close. But with her enhancement, 3 successes.
3 successes. So you just kind of you're very open and very earnest with them, and they reach out their hand to sort of touch yours, and kind of close their eyes for a bit. Like, you know what, I think you are the right people. Let me tell you what I know. I spoke with dear Lacuna, and he's kind of a rough and rumble sort. I don't think he might be entirely on the right path, but in this, I felt he was earnest in wanting to help this birdsong, and I talked with birdsong too, and I told them that the place they needed to go to get furthest from the harm that was looking for her, they needed to go to Mars, lovies.
That's a hop, skip, and a jump.
I gave them a name of someone I thought would be able to help them, but I only know people in passing. I don't have really good friends there.
Jean-Marie, have you been there?
I've been all over. So, do you want to make a roll or?
Yeah. Let me see what would be a good roll.
Yeah, I'm a spacer explorer.
Hey, we're both spacers. Yay!
Yeah.
I think we're all spacers.
Yeah. Oh, did you take spacer too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I think might actually be good here is for you to make a path roll, which I'm not entirely familiar. Danielle, you helped write these rolls with the path roll.
Show the spot.
I love the look of horror on her face.
Oh yeah.
So so you add your path rating to a an appropriate skill.
Okay.
So
I would say definitely path roll. Adding your path to what would be a good
probably like, I don't know, to represent having been somewhere or to see if you've been somewhere. I don't know,
see
like
how
maybe
familiar you are with the place.
I don't know. Man, that's hard. Maybe like humanities or
I would say it would be either survival or humanities.
Survival 0G.
Yeah,
sure. So you can make you can make a humanity a survival roll, and I will let you do what attribute would you like to pair with that?
Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. Presence? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that, I can justify that. So yeah, presence plus survival, and you can add your path rating in Spacer
Okay.
to see if you are familiar enough with somewhere on Mars to get there.
If not, I can arrange it. I got 0 successes.
0 successes. Yeah,
Ding.
Okay.
you've been to Mars, but it's just not fleeting. So are you going to be using your Upeo Wamacho ability
Yep.
to get transport?
Yeah, I
Okay,
can get
yeah.
us there in an hour.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Thought they have that edge.
Yeah, absolutely. You basically.
We do also get a momentum for that failed roll.
That's true. You absolutely do.
Yeah.
So yeah, you are like no, you don't have the juice for it, but you absolutely can call upon your order to do that. And we are going to take a short break while we resolve and then when we come back, we will be on our way to Mars.
Yay!
Cool.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. So we are playing Trinity Continuum Aeon here at the Onyx Path Virtual Convention. And when we last left our psychic superheroes, 3 of them were talking with the psychic precognitive DJ that runs this club here on the surface of the moon. And one of them was engaged in hostile bureaucracy with a agent of the Ministry of Psionic Affairs. So what I'd like to get from you right now, just to see how well you manage this, is...
Ooh, that is a good...
I'm going to say this is an atypical use of the Enigma skill to essentially bog them down with minutia.
It's an offensive use. An offensive use
of Enigma.
But I am going to say you're probably going to have to use one of your social abilities for this.
Absolutely. I was thinking presence, but I can do manipulation. Either one.
Yeah, I would say manipulation would probably be more appropriate.
Alrighty. 5 dice it is. That's an 8. Stay an 8. Yay. Ooh, and a reroll. 3 dice. 3 successes. Excuse me.
Fantastic. Yeah, you are definitely able to talk to this person, go sort of back and forth, and you manage to stonewall them. You manage to stall them, and you actually get a bit of information out of them as part of this. You learn that the major pressure for this operation is coming from the kin. They have called in a lot of favors with the ministry to get this person, to find these people and secure them. But yeah, so back up in the DJ booth, Jean-Marie, you've put in the request, and they basically, you get the call back of like, do you want us to pick you up where you currently are, or do you want to go somewhere else and get maneuvered?
Either. I think we'll need to go to an extraction point because we got to get Rock back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Absolutely. Gardy says, I can have one of my people bring him up here, and y'all can get out the back entrance if you so desire. I can take care of our friends from the ministry.
You're going to be okay with them?
Oh, no, sweetie. I've got all... This is my house.
Just making sure. Just concerned.
Awesome. Buy us some time.
Yeah. Next time I'm around, I'm definitely going to come here. Just let me know.
You are welcome at any time. We might change up things a little bit. We try and keep it fresh. So definitely come back and we'll have a whole brand new experience.
All right. So on the minicomp, Rock, we're leaving?
Good, because I think they're headed your way.
Meet us out back?
Sure, I'll figure out how to get
there. You guys are led basically from this chamber to a hallway out into essentially, like, it's not the same room that you guys entered the club through, but it's a similar room, but it's much less biological exit. It's just sort of a door kind of opens, and you're in the back alleys of Olympus when you come out of this place. And so the man part of the trio comes back to the table, and they kind of share a look at each other, and she says, well, this has been a lovely conversation, but I don't think we need to work together further on this. We have our own leads that we need to pursue. So I'm going to have to ask you to disengage from this investigation and leave this to us.
Okay, that's fine.
Actually drawing it out.
And one of the attendants sort of comes over to you, and they say, I'm so very sorry, sir. There's been a problem with your credit. If you could just come over here, if you could just come this way, and we'll take care of it.
Sure, like right in front of.
So,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir. We don't want to make a fuss.
Yeah, and yeah, Rourke is more than happy to, and like we'll make a big show of like really right in front. These are coworkers of mine.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. So you guys are able to communicate with each other. You guys can get a little bit further away from the club to where you think would be a convenient extraction point is. And
I got to get my stuff.
oh yeah, yeah. You can. You actually, yeah. You guys can reconvene back at the little mini hotel that Oren rented.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you convey that to your Upeo friends. This is where we're being extracted from, and within about an hour. You sort of get a ping that says ready to receive.
Okay.
Okay. And you guys are all familiar with this, but at this point, sort of a shimmering portal opens in the middle of your little hotel room. And it opens up into, you see a very pale light coming from it. It looks like another kind of open city area that it's exiting out onto.
All right.
Let's step through.
Yeah. You guys step through, and
Danielle, you're muted again.
Yeah, I see it. Zoom tells me, it's like, I see you're trying to talk.
well, that's
You're
nice.
muted. I'm like, yeah, okay.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm just like, this is so neat.
Yeah. So you guys walk through the portal, and immediately, like, things felt a little different on the moon, but things feel very different here. Psionic energy is, it's the energy created by life primarily. It's enhanced by life, and you've gone from Earth, which is, the center of life in the solar system, to the moon, which has a lot of people in it, has a lot of biotech on it. It's maybe a little bit strange or muted. And you go to Mars, and this planet is mostly dead.
Yep.
And that just sort of, it's like walking off a plane into a different climate times 1,000.
Right.
So you guys you all have to wait to deal with that disorientation. But you are in the Martian city. Let me just make sure I get the name of this place right.
Where we are is probably normal gravity at this point.
It's normal gravity. There is a bit of technology that was invented a couple decades ago called grav crystals that are little bits of biotechnology that you run power through it, and it sets gravity to whatever level that you want it to be. So
that's half the handy.
Yeah, it's very
grav
handily.
crystals.
Mm-hmm. That way, when we film this, everyone can walk around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, I would love for Onyx Path to be able to make a Trinity game,
TV show,
Trinity TV show or movie or Netflix special. That would be the best.
That'd be pretty cool.
If you're watching Netflix.
Yeah, if you're watching Netflix.
I'm certain they're watching.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Definitely.
You are in Rio del Martio, which is kind of the hub of the tourist trade here on Mars. It is built into sort of the walls of a canyon, and much like some of the cities in Brazil, it is entirely made of biotechnology. So it is it's sort of this seamless transition of these very stark rocky caverns that are capped off by these biotech domes. And it's not in the city itself isn't completely constructed yet. It's actually in the process of being constructed. But you guys are on this kind of balcony area where you can sort of see the pale light of the sun because it's much farther away now. It's supplemented by bioluminescent lights that do that. And this is kind of it's essentially an apartment that the UPO have in this city that they use to drop people off or to, as quick extraction points.
Sure.
Charis, your eyes are drawn. You look into beyond the cavern. There's this large crater that is about a quarter way filled with water. That is part of the terraforming process. Is they're in the process of turning this Martian crater into a giant sea.
Huh. Okay.
And like that like pings in your
yeah. I'm like, oh, neat.
But yeah, you guys are here in this city. This is where the Yuppie have dropped you off.
Who were you supposed to not meet, but who'd they say that Lucid was going to meet?
They said that they gave them a contact here. Right. It was a it was this it's a reputable businessman
why do I sense air quotes?
There may or may not be air quotes. A reputable businessman who manages trade between Martian settlements. And they go by the name of Elon Slim. He's named after
okay. Sorry.
Yeah, no, gotta slip a little reality in there.
Sorry, chat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but that's the name that you have. You have a basic contact information for them, and you're not necessarily certain whether they're in this part of Mars or not. So it might take a little bit of work to track them down.
Okay. Well, I'm starting to get a little tired just because going between whole planets can get a little exhausting.
I could try to do like a network search. Yeah, like everybody else is like, well, whatever.
Yeah, that effortless step can really be draining.
Well, I mean, you joke all you want, but it is a little concerning.
It is. I'm gonna probably. I will suggest that I can maybe look through the like computerized system that most of the settlements have, like lots of what is the net thing? I forget what it's called. Thank you. So I could do a search through the OpNet for this person to get a little more information on them.
Cool. Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Is that something I might be able to assist with? Because I note, based on Ruark's description, and this is a exact quote, the OpNet and coffee are his drugs of choice.
Absolutely. I would say this would probably be an Enigma's role to sort of navigate this you're not it's like using the internet in a foreign country at this point. Like, and you're not entirely sure how the directories are set up or what the search is like. Google's different depending on where you go every now and then. But yeah, I would say
you've been to a lot of foreign countries, because that's not true.
Yeah. In the future, it is.
I don't understand why that would happen, but I'm here for rolling it.
Look, the Aberrant War changed everything.
Everything was fine until the Aberrant nation attacked.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. But
I'm going to use intelligence for this.
Yeah, sure. And if you want to help, you would also make an Enigma's roll to see how much enhancement you would give them.
Okay.
I'll let Ruark do that.
Wow. 8 dice. 1 success.
All right. That's enough. You get an enhancement.
Cool. So I have 4 successes plus the enhancement, so that's 5 successes.
Fantastic. Yeah, you search through the Martian social networks to find out this guy, and you basically find his social media page, which is all like, hey, I'll get anywhere or anyone you need to go anywhere on Mars.
Okay.
Just.
Are there like people's reviews, or
It's a mixed bag. Some people are really happy with his work. Other people, some people have polite things to say about how he didn't exactly deliver. And then there's, a small handful of 1-star reviews that are just profane.
Okay. Is there a way, like I have a lot of successes there, so I'd like to use them to do some so this is kind of like an investigation action. So I'd like to use them. Even though we're not really getting clues on him specifically, just to kind of in the same way. I'm assuming that our guy hasn't. I'm assuming has our guy interacted with him yet. And I want to be able to find that out if I can. So essentially, like, is he not taking, or, I got a new contract today, or anything that he's posted about, or anybody's posted about, to let me know whether or not our Chinese operative who's helping the Ken has been to him yet.
So yeah, you have more than enough successes here, and I'll tell you what you find. What you find is you find a space in his social media where there was a picture that has been deleted.
Okay.
But you're able to do a little bit of digging, and you find sort of
OpNet's way back.
Yeah, you OpNet way back machine, and you don't find the picture, but you find like the text that went along with the picture, like.
Okay.
Holy shit, I've never met a Ken before.
Okay. How long ago was that, like, posted/deleted?
Posted/deleted couple hours ago.
Okay. So yeah, so he has met with our people. So if we want to track him, we need to go meet with him.
Okay. All right. We can go do that. You got his information?
Yes.
All right.
Literally his home address.
Well,
you have one of the places where he meets clients.
Right. I imagine with those successes, I've done all the basic things I could do in an internet search.
You do an internet search. You can sign up for a consultation.
Highest priority
level.
Right.
Yeah. You pull in a little bit of resources from your order to kind of put some oomph behind it. But yeah, I have to see how quickly someone can get to Mars, because y'all just teleported the hell there.
We sure did.
Yep.
That's real good.
Yep.
It's going to take them a moment.
It's going to take a little moment to get there.
Yeah, because even with like a
very fast ships.
Yeah, even with a jump ship, like they'd have to take time to get to the jump ship. The jump ship's got to get prepped, jump.
Yeah.
Then they got to disembark from that jump ship and get on planet.
You don't take a jump ship to go from
no.
Oh no, that's right.
The moon to Mars.
Yeah.
Oh
no, you don't.
That's not what you do.
Oh,
it's like.
Oh, that's right. That's to another galaxy. Or
that's another solar system in general.
Yeah.
We have not gotten beyond the galaxy just yet. Although there may be a future Trinity Continuum game that's Mass Effect Andromeda flavored.
Yes, please.
But anyway, yeah. So yeah, you absolutely you get a message from him that basically says that it's going to take him a couple hours. He's currently on a job, but he can definitely meet you at that sort of client meet location.
He's currently on a job, is he?
Yeah.
Oh. Can we try to figure out where he is right now?
That would probably be another Enigma's role to do some serious hacking.
I'm on board to help.
I got nothing. I either have to wait for him to be done with it or hack and find out. So let's do it.
If I can assist.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Yes,
okay.
Actually, I do have enigmas, so I will assist as well.
Okay, awesome.
So I'll pull up my.
We can have multiple people. Heck yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the roll right now?
Intellect plus
Enigmas.
Enigmas?
Yeah, probably.
Enigmas plus whatever your approach is going to be.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So that's for. Okay.
Oh my God!
Oh, upset. Someone's upset.
Somebody is walking on a sidewalk.
Oh no!
How
I know.
dare they?
She's good.
Danielle, add 2 enhancement for me.
And 3 from me.
It's just 1.
Okay, yeah.
That's fine. It's still 6.
You add 1. Right. So that gives me 5 successes.
5 successes. Cool. Yeah, you sort of hack in. You start to run a trace back on his information, and you find that his opnet signal is bouncing off of a couple of relays that are sort of taking him out into the Martian outback, like really far out there.
Can we get there quickly?
You can try.
Or we can at least try
how-
to intersect where he's going.
Yeah. I mean, that would require you guys probably getting some sort of vehicle. There's thing about Mars is that there's not really a strong atmosphere. So unless you have like a spaceship that's capable of like going orbital, most travel on Mars is done by trains or cars.
Yeah.
So
he we're going through the data and he's looking at the geography of where we need to go, and he's like, he looks like he's doing some calculation. He's like, does everyone have an environmental suit?
Yeah.
No.
We can get you one. I could get us there through orbit.
I mean, if you could hook me up with an environmental suit, because my my origin path is suburbia.
I know how to order a damn good cup of coffee, but the reason why is, and he'll explain, he's like, yeah, I could, given enough time and prep and effort, I can basically lift us all up and arc us to there. Over
What you're saying is you can throw us there.
No, like literally fly, like telekinetically grab everyone and fly there.
What? This is amazing.
he just looks, he smiles like, it's because I'm amazing.
Yeah, but hang on, we're and like Rurik is cutting to the chase, and the landing though.
Oh yeah, perfect. I got it. Now I may need a little help. It'll definitely. Rurik, you definitely help me out doing this, but if we all work together, should be able to get there without a problem. Unless he looks over the Jean-Marie, like, unless you can just teleport us there.
So that's my question: is what do I need to be able to get a warp beacon?
Well, once again, you need to have.
I have to actually be there.
You don't have to be there. You have to be familiar with it enough. Now, if you had like a clairsentient in your group that you could link up with and it could cast their senses,
or if we could hack a surveillance video camera,
that will help a little bit.
Yeah, if you could see it on camera, it helps, but it's not as good as having like a mental impression of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mage is better teleportation rules. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Or I can just fly us through the atmosphere.
Right. No. Yeah.
I need to have. I need to have been in the space in order to be.
You
able
have
to
have been in the space or have some way of forming a connection with it.
But having said that, I can definitely get us out again. So
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
true.
Yeah, you can just
make sure
back up.
I know what this place is.
It's super easy to just show back up in your apartment because that's where you live.
Right.
But yeah. So how do you guys want to go about getting environmental suits for this telekinetic orbital flight?
Well, okay, so I have the far-reaching influence edge from the Aeon, being a member of Aeon Trinity. So I think we just go and commandeer some biosuits.
Yeah, you set up a meeting at the Aeon Trinity headquarters here in Rio de Martino. And it's within about 45 minutes, you guys are suited up with they're not like Vargs or anything, but you know, it's like a biosuit that conforms to you and will protect you from the atmosphere and the non-atmosphere of Mars.
Yeah, I'm actually wearing one. That's what my character's actively wearing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do a quick check on the pings from our guy to get a better location of where he is at this point, because it's been 45 minutes, which means he has moved. Do you want me to roll again, or do you feel like I essentially could so what I would have done is maintain that connection so I could keep an eye on where he's moving.
Yeah. And you got a good number of successes. Yeah, you sort of triangulate. Let's see here. I do want to because you don't know exactly like where he's going, but you know the direction that he's going. So what I'm going to want a humanities roll to kind of
Okay.
be able to figure out, and and anyone else can do this if anyone's good at humanities, to sort of guesstimate where he's going, like based off the fact that you got 2 solid pings about where he was.
Okay. I'm going to use humanities plus intellect for that.
Okay.
I have 1 enhancement to add to that.
Cool.
Cool. That gives me 2 successes.
2 successes. Yeah. While you're getting set up with these biosuits, you are taking a little bit of time to kind of like look over Martian maps, find places, and you miss it a few times because it's so
Right.
off the map. But you find a
Okay.
place that you think might be it's in the line of where he was going. It's
Okay.
a
Okay.
small settlement called Nurojava.
Okay.
And it is essentially a very remote terraforming facility that is contested in its legal status. It claims to be an autonomous facility that's not connected to the United Nations or any of the colonial powers.
Okay.
There is some contestation with China as to whether or not that land and that facility, some of the facilities, means that they have jurisdiction there. But they claim to be 100% autonomous and operating under their own laws.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, that would be based off where he's going, the speed that he's going, the direction that he's going. That seems to be the place that's in line with that direction.
All right, Flyboy, get us there.
All right, let's head on.
Do we need to like boost you?
Yeah, we're gonna need it. I could probably do it myself, but just to make this easy and make sure everything goes smoothly, let's all link up and get us there so everyone's on the same level. He's like,
yeah,
we gotta hold hands.
So yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So a thing that scions can do is they can form a psionic link with one another, and that allows them to pull their psychic energies, as well as sort of draw upon the strengths of the various other aptitudes. Which I think at least 2 of you can probably add to this roll.
Yes, their guy just was looking over the rules. These 2 are gonna Rurik and Danielle's character, Charis, will be very useful for this.
Okay.
Right, because you are using this on living creatures, so I can add my psi trait as enhancement.
Yep. And then after I roll, I will double all my successes because I have a biokinetic in the group. Jean-Marie doesn't really help because I don't have to do anything with distance at this point, but still helps.
Right.
I mean,
No
you're
AoE
going from
extras.
point A to point B. It helps narratively.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, so so do you have the power that you're trying to use?
All right. Yes, I do, but I'm actually going to try to push my powers because I actually want the 5th level power.
Okay, so that will impose an additional difficulty on the roll.
It's +1 because I have telekinesis 4.
And you will have to spend. I think you have to spend additional psi.
You got 1 additional psi and one additional success to get this, but I should be able to do it with everything that we got. I am going to pull a die off of our momentum to make sure I get this.
Is everybody else cool with that?
Do it.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Because that means we might land safely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Right. Yes, please.
So let me make all the rolls and get all the logistics out, and then I'll explain what happens.
Cool.
Because this is so cool.
Please roll a success at least.
I did. Yeah. I did.
Because doubling 0.
And I know. So 2.
Well, if you don't roll any successes, then
you can't add
get any-
enhancement
Right.
or anything. Yeah.
Which I got 2 successes, so I do activate it by myself. Period.
Cool.
So
then you.
Just a side question, completely unrelated, but when I teleport, is momentum conserved?
Oh, man.
In case, asking for a friend.
You go to word jail.
Fired.
There's actually they talk about that and like being able to do that, like doing that kind of weird playing with portal stuff later on,
Right.
like some of the other powers. But so total, if I got 2 additional, and well, it's my favorite mode, so I get 2. Plus,
Okay.
and I hate to explain this to people, I am psionically dysfunctional, so I get an additional 2 enhancement. So that's 4. Plus Danielle is 6. I already beat the difficulty, which was 2. So that means I get doubled, which is 12.
Do you double the successes before enhancements applied, or is it before? I guess.
I think it's after.
I think it's after.
Yeah.
I think biokinetics just is amazing.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
they know how bodies do.
Yeah, just double it that you have the ability to spend after accounting for difficulty.
So
excellent.
Quick aside, like I said, I ran an actual play for our podcast of Aeon, and by the end of it, they were literally like sitting in lawn chairs and nuking aberrants from like miles away.
Yeah,
it was great.
We had Mai Tais. It was great.
So mages at character creation.
Not a character
creation. They also had because they had a power for clairsentient. It let
so
them
they could
do
see
things at distance.
Yeah.
But regardless,
and when we do that, we have to spend. We all spend, right?
Yeah, you all have to spend a psi point when he uses his power.
Yeah, everyone spends a psi point.
But on my character sheet, where would that be? Would that be the tolerance?
It's psi intolerant. You have as many psi points as you have psi power.
Okay, so I had 2. I now have 1.
Yeah, and it regenerates every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have. If you have psi 2, you should have like 5 points.
You actually have. I think.
Is
you
it?
have one,
Man,
I remember. You have a number of points depending on your psi rating, but it's not your psi rating directly. But you get your psi rating back after every 10 minutes.
Psi points 5.
Yep.
On the side page. Okay.
Yes, there we go. 5.
Yeah. So when we get out of the airlock, he's like, and then we all like get our hands really close to each other and we start like synchronizing, and he just concentrates, and then suddenly you all feel very weightless. And he is definitely you're under his control. You're not under your own. And he just rockets you guys up. My space speed is 2.
Oh.
So, and basically what I'm doing is the parabola thing of out of the atmosphere and then going through re-entry, or suborbital. We're not actually going out of the total atmosphere, but just skimming it and then arcing over the planet.
Cool.
So we're moving at like a really fast speed, faster than any of us have ever moved before, probably outside of being inside of a vehicle. And so Charles is probably screaming the entire time.
Yeah, no, this is terrifying. You're moving as fast as like not the slowest spaceship, but a spaceship.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's to translate to scale. It's speed scale 6 if it was not space based. That's how much space. That's how much speed I have.
Luckily you're able to like form like a part of it is like you form a telekinetic shield, so like, you're not being harmed by this, but you are just rocketing across the sky, purely under the mental ability of one of your friends.
When we eventually land, I will say something like, I thought this was going to be fun. Don't ever do that to me again.
The entire time he is like woo-hooing the entire time. He loves every moment of this. He's like, yeah. And he's just pushing his powers and he's just, boom.
Just waiting for you to flare out.
I'm hearing the theme from the Never-Ending Story.
Never-Ending Story. Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
One last little thing before we land, because we're all in a link, you definitely, after a few minutes of doing this, start feeling the fraying edges on your psi senses as you realize there is something abnormal inside.
Yeah, Charles, you pick up on this almost immediately.
Right.
Like you feel that there is
there is something wrong. Right. You are broken, sir.
Yeah, my first wife said that too.
First, let's note that. So yeah, you guys rocket over, and eventually, it's not hard to find where you're going, because what you guys see as you sort of come over the horizon is just a gigantic plume of steam. sort of rising out of the crust of the planet, and it's obscuring everything around it. Like all you see is this plume of steam. You don't see any facility. You don't see anything. It just seems to be this roiling column of steam that's just erupting from the area, and that's it. It corresponds with what you have found to be New Rojava, where you believe New Rojava is.
Does it look like a biodome has busted open and like venting atmosphere?
You don't think so? I'm gonna need a technology roll.
Sure.
I would say probably the best thing to go with this would be cunning, because you're just trying to figure out like from a distance what's going on.
Sure.
But
Can I-
if you can
I'm doing this.
Can I do an assist on that?
Sure. Yeah, make a roll and see if you can add an enhancement to it.
So I got
No
2
enhancements.
successes on my own. Okay, so I got 2 successes. 2 squint.
Okay, yeah.
Squinty eyes.
So you look at this and you can kind of see the outline of the facility in the steam. You think that this place was specifically constructed so that the terraforming process, like they're obviously like on top of like an underground glacier that they're doing. They've specifically constructed it so that the operation of the terraforming plant conceals the output.
The facility. Okay. So right. So there's something vaporizing like the glacier underneath, which is trying to create an atmosphere, and they've built a facility under like within that plume of smoke to hide it. Okay. Excellent.
I can get us down there.
So yeah, you like just eyeing it and feeling it. You don't want to go into that plume of smoke because
it's going to be.
It is superheated
super
steam.
hot. Yeah, I can't do anything about that.
There's got to be a way in there though.
I just to know, Scott, I am committing the 4 psi to have that keep the duration going.
Okay, cool.
So that level 5 power is continually going in the background.
Gotcha. Cool. So you're just zum.
Yep,
But yeah,
zum.
yeah, you were able to come to a landing, sort of like on the perimeter of this plume. But like I said, like it's pretty impressive. Like this is maybe slightly bigger than a football field, or a football stadium. Is like the circumference, the circumference of this plume of steam that's coming out of the ground.
Anybody see a door?
It's not readily apparent.
Yeah, he's like actively just like looking around.
So
with spatial sense, can I get an idea of the layout, or what's the range on that?
Yeah, if you get a little bit closer, I would say that you'd be able to make an attunement roll to try and feel out the spatial arrangement of it. So that would be your psi plus your highest mode.
Sure.
Dots. You could make that roll and try and suss things out.
Two successes.
Yeah, you get a little bit closer. Like you walk for maybe about 5 minutes up closer to the thing, and you feel out, and you feel sort of at the edge, maybe about half a mile to the west of where you currently are. You feel like that there is a tunnel that is somewhere concealed that goes underneath and goes underneath into the facility.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know about a door, but there's a tunnel that leads down.
Oh, we need to find it.
About a half a mile that way.
Oh, half a mile? Ooh. Half a mile down?
No, that way.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I'm pointing like
you got us here in 10 minutes. You can't go half a mile.
There's a difference between atmosphere and rock.
One step was really tiring for him. So
yeah.
You're just able to like zum them over. It's pretty.
Here we go.
So I guess we got to look for a way into this tunnel.
Yeah,
I'm guessing this is maybe an underground transport, like a tram or something that leads into here. So it's probably not something that we're going to be able to access on this end without like in the middle. So we may have to like tunnel down there, or there may be some like you know what, there's probably some kind of access, like if people get stuck in there or breaks down, you know, technology, there's got to have
what
some
I'm sensing.
kind of
Like it feels like a tunnel from the surface leading down.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's an actual hatch. It's an actual
Yeah,
access
yeah.
port. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
It's not that specific. I just feel like there's a passage in that direction.
Okay. It's probably like a maintenance access. So let's look for something that looks like a maintenance access. Yeah.
I'm going to need a survival roll from someone to try and locate where this exact entranceway is.
Who's got survival?
I do.
Okay.
That's the thing
3
I
dots
do.
with
Yeah. I also, so you want me to like try to assist you with this? Oh God, no dice everywhere.
Oh no.
Let the dog get them.
Yeah, they will. They'll eat them.
Mm-hmm.
And is it possible to self-enhance with my spatial sense?
Yeah.
That's just me, complete newbie. I don't even know the rules.
We're just asking on behalf of the audience, correct?
Oh yeah, of course, of the audience. Let me look up exactly how spatial sense works, because it might give you those kind of bonuses. Sorry, everyone. The rules are weird.
No, the dog wanted to eat the forbidden candy.
No.
I have lost a couple pieces of board game.
I won't lie. Since role-playing games have become such more popular, there's a lot more dice makers, and some of these dice that people are making, I'm like, I want to eat it.
Yeah. They
some
look
of the
like
really shiny
forbidden candy. Yeah.
And I'm like that
shiny
looks
math
like,
rocks.
It's like the
rock candy.
No, like rock candy, or like the tea. You know, the this teal color, and it's got vines on it. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Can I eat it?
Go ahead and make a survival roll with whatever approach you think is appropriate, and I will take your spatial sense into account.
And I will give you one enhancement.
Cool.
Yay.
Call it survival cunning.
Sure.
Okay. One, 2, 3 successes on my own.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, you once you're in the general area, you scan out, you look for sort of the fine details of where the hatch might be, and you find it is sort of it's sort of worked into a rocky outcropping, and you like tap up. Here's the metal, and yeah, you find the hatch. It is pretty securely locked though.
Well, I got us here.
like if I'm gonna. So you said it's physically locked, so even if I just try to move it, it just won't budge.
Yeah, I mean, this is like an external environmental airlock,
and it's obviously concealed though, right?
Yeah, it's concealed, but you're able to you know exactly where it is, and you can like kind of point out things now that you know where it is, but it is very well concealed.
It's an environmental airlock, which means it works on some kind of technological like time release, or but it because it's an airlock, it's probably locked on both ends kind of thing. Can I hack it?
Sure. Yeah.
Can Rorik hack it? Because
yeah, we can
just a question. Opening that might be setting off alarms. Is it possible to do just a short range portal, or do I have to know what's beyond the door?
You need to know what's I mean,
part of spatial sense is that you are able to form noetic connections within your attunement range. So you actually have a sense of like a big open space that you could teleport into.
So
I'll leave it to you guys. I can just bypass the door entirely.
You can jump in there, but how good are you? Well, I mean, it should be just a button to press, you would imagine, right?
Well, I'm thinking we can all go through, and then we don't have to worry about setting off alarms or have a door open signal go off in some console somewhere.
Even if there's not an alarm, somebody somewhere will be alerted that airlock is being opened. So I agree.
Now, just a question, because I'm not familiar with the setting. Opening up a portal on the other side of the airlock, is that going to cause air to rush out the portal? Okay.
You have enough control
Okay.
that you can like set permissibilities.
Cool. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do an explosive decompression of the
mean,
entire facility.
If you want,
Portal.
That's one of the cool things that you can do with teleportation. If you wanted to create an explosive decompression, you totally could.
Sure.
Right.
But no, you're able to make it so like air pressure equalizes and does not. And yeah, it's a short range jump. I won't even make you roll. Just make sure you spend the psi points for it. And
Sure.
Whoomp, portal opens up, and there's this poorly lit kind of transport tunnel that you guys can just step right into.
Quick question, just to make sure I'm playing fair. I haven't done any biokinetic stuff yet, but should I see? Oh, never mind. Carry on. I found where it says costs on size stuff, and my stuff doesn't have size stuff or doesn't have costs yet. So
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, a lot of the lower level powers are pretty cheap to use. Cheap
That's
or
awesome.
free.
Hence why I keep moving things with my mind, because the low end TK stuff is all free, so he just does it as willy nilly.
Yes.
So you guys head your way in, and like I said, this looks. Charis was right. This looked like a transport tunnel, like an access hatch into a transport tunnel that is probably connected to one of the larger train networks that crisscross across the Martian surface and underground. So yeah, it does actually look like, it doesn't look like this place is like abandoned or misused. It actually looks like it sees pretty regular use. Rourke, you can detect not too terribly far away. You sense living beings. You sense people, like maybe about 20 yards down the tunnel. Just
how precise am I able to tell A, numbers, and B, like, because I don't have spatial sense.
Sure.
So do I just have a general sense that they're there, or
you could make an attunement roll to try and get like fine details about like the people or the living beings that are there.
That sounds super cool. What is an attunement roll?
Attunement roll is your psi rating plus your highest psi mode.
Oh, that's right. We did those earlier. Okay, so that's going to be 4 dice. Woo! Dude, okay, I'll take these. I keep getting 2 successes and I'm not complaining. So yeah.
So yeah, you detect about 5 different people. They don't seem to be moving, but they just seem to be sort of standing at the ready. About, like I said, about 20 yards down the tunnel.
Gotcha. Yeah, Roar kind of does a quick step in front of everybody, bring his finger up, quiet now, 5. And then just kind of points, and that is about the end of his like tactical skill. It's like, hey, detective, not a special ops guy here, but I can at least cover that much.
Excellent.
So how are you guys going to approach this?
I think we should go cautiously, but move. I mean, we should clearly head down there, but maybe kind of, be cautious in case whatever we run across is not friendly to us.
Well, if they give us gruff, I'm just gonna like either stop them in their tracks or take their guns away.
Okay.
All right. So you guys trying to be like stealthy about this? Or are you just sort of cautiously approaching these people?
I don't think I'm that great at stealth. In fact, I'm just going to say that I'm pretty awful at it. So I'm approaching cautiously, but being stealthy is just difficult.
All right. Well, you guys sort of
chumps.
slowly, cautiously approach, and like a couple moments later, you hear the distinct whine of energy rifles powering up, and a voice comes out and says, "Why don't you stay right there?"
Why don't we stay right here?
Hands up.
They like slowly approach, please, so we can get a better look at you.
Okay.
Quick question: biokinesis useful or not for healing, or is that more the vitakinesis?
That's vitakinesis.
Okay, so I'm not in the front.
Now, eventually, you can heal yourself. Like if you had a high enough power, you can heal yourself.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but that's the difference.
So,
All right.
yeah, you guys come a little bit closer. You see 5 people, just sort of like a security patrol. They clearly picked you up on some sort of a sensor package.
Sure.
Like, we weren't expecting anybody. What
Yes.
the hell are you doing here?
I'm like looking at the rest of everybody. Like,
We are
we
looking.
tell them what we're here.
Well, yeah, I mean, Rourke is going to be pretty straightforward because it's easier to not have to remember lies later. We are looking for a kin who is either here or is en route to here.
They kind of like, they look at each other like very surprised that you say that. Like, they're like, why do you think that we would have a kin here?
because we literally know she was on her way here, or they were on their way here. Like, then
Who's the travel agent guy that we were trying to look for?
Elon Slim.
Elon Slim.
Elon Slim. Yeah, Elon Slim is supposed to be bringing them here, and he may be already here.
They're like, all right. It's weird that you guys know that. That wasn't supposed to be. I'm gonna have to call
we're here. We're here to help them.
Yeah, it's better that we find them than who the other people are looking for.
Man, none of this is making me feel better about the situation, guys. I'm just telling you right off the bat. But I'm gonna have to call the council because, as far as I know, we just gave them asylum.
Yes.
Council of what?
Good.
The Neurojavan Council, the people who manage our affairs. So I'm gonna have to call this in. You guys stay where you are.
Okay.
Sure.
If that means anything to Jean-Marie,
Yeah.
stay here. Sure, I'm also there.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, he goes over to like a communications panel, picks up basically a space phone. You can just apply space to anything, and it makes sense for the setting.
Ring.
Star Trek.
Space phone.
And he starts talking to someone on the phone. What are you guys doing?
I mean, they have offered this person asylum. So I have a feeling that they're going to be. I don't know. I'm going to wait. And see what happens when they call the council.
Okay.
I have a specialty / skill trick called connecting the dots.
Okay.
And mostly because this is some of my own lack of knowledge, but also Rurik is kind of in the middle of all this.
Sure.
China wants to catch these folks. These guys are coming here for asylum in a place that is confronting and has problems. Well, hang on. What are my exact notes here? Contested with China. Like Rurik is going, I see something here, and I have 5 intelligence, and it literally says I'm a biokinetic genius. So I want to go Sherlock Holmes on this.
Yeah, absolutely. You can use that skill trick. First time you use it, it doesn't cost any momentum.
Oh, even better.
So yeah, it's a free use of that skill trick. So I would say an intellect enigmas roll would be fantastic in this situation.
It's like my character was built for this. Oh, that's good. There's the reroll. And another reroll. So that's 5 successes.
So you're standing in the middle of this kind of like ramshackle, like autonomous collective Martian outpost, and you're doing the Sherlock thing. You're putting the pieces together.
I'm imagining the whole Mind Palace thing happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what you put together is, yeah, absolutely. This kin is on the run from their own government. This Lacuna Jackson guy, like he's connected to like kidnapping, but also smuggling. So you're pretty sure that this kin got in contact with Lacuna to smuggle themselves out from their own government because they know something or they have something or they are on the outs with their own government. And you are certain that is sort of the crux of the danger that this person is in.
Yeah. So Ruark is going to give a quick. How far away are the guards? Because I know you said one moved over to the comm panel.
So they're probably about 10 yards away from you. The other one's probably about 15 yards away from you.
Right. They can shoot us, but not over here. Whisper. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, just a quick look over. Okay, so quick bullet point. So I think this is actually okay.
It is, but we still need to find out what is going on, whether this is okay or not.
Wait a minute, you just pull that out of your ass?
Yes.
I follow
use
the logic.
My brain.
Yeah. No, I follow the logic here. Yes.
Yeah, but the issue is the Quinn are as far as I have ever known anything about them, they're pretty lockstep with all the stuff that's going on. I've never heard of one of them going rogue.
Right,
which would be yes. Which is
why we still should talk to them.
Mm-hmm, absolutely, something.
Yeah.
Something.
Oh yeah. No, I'm. Yeah, Ruark says this is okay in reference to Birdsong getting asylum, and we need to do whatever we can to support that. And then we'll chat with her. I think we established and figure out exactly what is going on. Notably, because she also took some terraforming biotech from China and is now here on Mars, where we are
probably
terraforming.
Leverage. That's probably leverage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the cost.
So you guys are coming back, and the person who is on the phone comes back and says, all right, I have a very strange question for you guys.
Sure.
Is one of you an otter?
We're just one sidestep. Yeah.
And Jean-Marie laughs out loud and yep.
I was just squinty eyes, what? I mean,
I don't,
because we are in the environmental suits after all.
Yeah, right. I squinty eyes and I'm like, I'm not an otter. Stop that. I just say it like I'm mad. I'm not an otter. Stop it.
I don't mean to offend. I just apparently I was supposed to ask that question. I'm guessing that applies somewhat if you're that upset about it.
Yes, fine.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys can come on in then, because I'll let them explain it. But is trouble coming your way?
I mean, not our way, but
we left it on Luna.
We're not
Kin's way.
Let me put it this way: we're not bringing you any trouble, but trouble may be following us.
Not us, the Kin.
Well, yeah,
they've been following them.
Yeah,
we are the backup.
Right, but we're following the same trail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they may be behind us.
Yes, trouble is coming.
Well, you guys get in. We're gonna prepare for trouble then.
Good, do that. That's important.
Okay. So yeah, you guys come in, and this place it's a functional colony outpost and terraforming, but only just. Everything is secondhand. Everything is sort of put together with spit and baling wire and space duct tape. It is, obviously a lot of maintenance needs to be done on a very regular basis to keep this place functional and habitable. But you are led kind of to underneath and up to sort of the central dome area, where there's this mostly sort of cleared away open community living space that's under the domes. You can see there's filtering on the glass so that you can it filters out some of the steam so that you can kind of see the sky from the other side of the glass. And you are met with there are a collection of people. There's some security forces, and there's an older man and an older woman who are sort of just sitting on this sort of open air conference table place where apparently they hold a lot of their community meetings. And they look over at you and say, so you're looking for our newest arrivals?
Yes.
Interesting.
We're looking to help your newest arrivals.
That is good. They are they've purchased their citizenship here, at least temporarily. So we're not certainly not going to be turning them over to any terrestrial authority or anything like that, not without their consent and good reason. But the reason why we let you in was because apparently someone told them that a friendly otter was coming to help.
That's awesome.
And
we're in like an atmosphere, right? So I like take
yeah.
off my like any kind of suit stuff. Like I'm
Cool.
mostly out of it because it constricts my feet, hands.
Mm-hmm. So they kind of look at each other and like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay. Like clearly dots connect in their own head. Like,
Right.
we have been wondering what that meant for hours. But yeah, if you're here to help, but we need to know from your perspective what's happening and what threat might be coming our way.
The ministry.
You want to take this?
No.
I like how she kind of starts and then just backs away from it.
You've got the actual kin government and the ministry on your ass. That's what they're here.
Well,
and they may not care about your autonomy.
Great.
Because they did just steal a whole bunch of biotech.
That's debatable. We don't necessarily recognize those sorts of laws. From what we understand, Burnsong created this technology.
Phrase it however you like. There's a pile of biotech that they want back.
All I'm saying are laws are threats.
It's an inside joke.
Did we enter luxury gay space commune?
Kind of did.
Yes, I want to move here.
She's like, we can arrange citizenship if you so desire, but we have some policies regarding community loyalty, community service. You have to give back as much as you take from the community. But yeah, sure. If you want to sign up, we'd love to have. I mean, I'm assuming you guys are scions, right?
Well, I'm not sure we want to sign up. We want to talk with Birdsong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, we obviously need to prepare for trouble. So why don't you, she's like, we'll have someone lead you to where we've stashed them, for lack of a better term. They're in one of our more secure facilities. But thank you guys for being upfront with us. You can certainly talk with them, but just know they are under our protection.
Understood.
We're not here to drag them back.
We're here to protect them.
Okay.
Or, well,
we're not taking them anywhere unless they want to come with us.
Okay. All right. Well, so a pair of young gun-toting people say like with us, please.
Okay.
And so they lead you kind of back underground to another part of the underground facility that is very defensible. Like, you guys kind of look around and like, oh, this is the part of the facility that they'll retreat to when the fucking man comes for them.
Right. Right.
Like it's got a lot more fortification. Yeah, it's a safe zone. It's got a lot more fortifications. You see like weapon mounts. Like this is sort of their last redoubt area. And they lead you through a couple of layers of security doors into a small but comfortable kind of living area where you see both Lacuna Jackson and Birdsong and Moonlight, and they are just sort of hunkered down, going over some data pads that they're going, and they all kind of look at you, and Lacuna just kind of like intercepts between you and Birdsong and just like,
pull up hands. It's okay. We're friends.
They let us in. We're not going to harm you.
You know what? We like these people, but they've got some interesting ideas about what is and isn't permissible.
I was told you were told that an otter was coming to help you. I am here to help you.
I absolutely 100% clock that. And you know what? As much as I trust the ramblings of clairsentience, then yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's not really an exact science, clairsentience.
So who are you guys working with?
the Aeon Society.
Yeah, we work for Aeon Trinity, but we're just supposed to try to find out what's going on. Because we don't think that the ministry has it right.
We're here to help you as much as we can, but we have reason to believe that you're involved in something that's much larger.
Okay. All right. Well,
And I mean that's what we're really about.
I'm gonna let Birdsong speak for herself, but I'll tell you what I can tell. Like Birdsong is like very still, very quiet, obviously like clocking all of you as hard as she can.
Mm-hmm.
Where she like talks to you or makes any kind of movement towards you. It's like so I met up with Birdsong about a week ago, and not to go into too much personal details, but we hit it off. And let's just say being a telepath has some advantages where intimacy is concerned. But I found
TMI, but carry on.
Yeah.
Why did we need that information? I get it. Keep going.
It's relevant because I found something in her head that she didn't know was there.
Something she'd been made to forget?
Yes.
Okay, now that comment makes sense.
And ever since I helped her uncover that memory, and I don't know if it's true what she had. I don't know if it's something that got put in there for malicious purposes, but if a fraction of it is true, we can't let the kin get her back. What's in her head, and at this point Birdsong speaks up, and her voice is inhuman. It's inhuman in a way that my vocal box can't replicate it, but it's melodic but very smooth, but it's obviously not operating off of human vocal cords. She says,
right,
my race and your race have an enemy that we don't know about.
What?
Haven't acknowledged, perhaps?
No, they're hiding. Only your powers. You know that they were gifted to you by the psionic orders. And they received them from sources that they're not divulging to humanity at large. There is an ancient race, a powerful psionic ancient race that has been interfering in our race and your race and is trying to control both of us.
How do you know this?
I saw one, and I was able to listen in on a conversation between it and the ambassador of the kin here in your solar system.
So are your people working with them?
I'm manipulated by them.
Something I don't know how deep it goes.
6 of one, half dozen of the other, really.
That's a lot.
I went back to my job after I found this, and then they started asking questions. I think they were able to see it in my mind that what I had been made to forget had been uncovered. So I had to get out. I don't know what they'll do to me if they get me, but I don't think we should let this secret die. I think it's too important.
I mean, if what you're saying is true,
I'm believing you. You've gone through a hell of a lot of trouble. You believe what you're saying, but there's got to be more evidence than just what's in your head. Like,
I don't know what to tell you, but what they said, what my superior said to this being, it was a being of pure psychic energy, of light. And this may be a comfort, but it might not be. That these things despise the aberrants. They despise them.
Good.
And that's well and good, but they are convinced that, some of them at least are convinced that the way to combat the aberrants, to snuff them out, is to either completely control humanity or destroy it, since humanity is the source of it.
Oh no.
And it was speaking with my supervisor, trying to gain more data to push the conversation one way or another. But clearly, they're deeply involved, and if they're willing to go to such lengths to suppress this information, I don't like what it means for my race, and I doubt you'd like what it means for yours.
Not particularly, no. But this is a bit above our pay grade.
Yeah.
That's what I've discovered, and Lacuna speaks up and says, I saw what she saw in her head. I heard everything about this conversation. It seemed real. I know my way around a mind. I've gotten used to how the way the kin mind works. I don't think this was. I think this was real. I think what she saw was real.
So if what you say is true, just accept that. We're in grave danger from a race we can't see or detect unless we're psychic, like psychic.
Mm-hmm.
Probably someone like Rourke could sense them
Possible
as a life form.
They're very. In my memory, when I sense they're very powerful. They may be capable of cloaking themselves, even from our senses.
Okay, so, but go back to the beginning where you said our powers were given to us.
Part of the conversation was, it implied that the Psi Orders, that the Prometheus chambers were part of this effort to control the source of aberration.
Oh shit! Well, that slides a little bit because the whole point of those chambers is to muck with your DNA.
I'm sorry, I don't know more, but I don't want to go back into their custody. I don't think anything good will happen to me.
Well, if your government is working with them, then you're definitely in grave danger for knowing this information. And now we are also in grave danger for knowing this information, but
we have no evidence.
We don't have any. Yeah, we don't.
It's possible to implant stuff in a mind, right?
Yeah,
it is possible, but
that doesn't add up. Like, why implant that memory and then chase Birdsong
and then chase
because
her down.
They have the memory, and then hide said memory, and
they put 4 of us on this thing. It's a pretty good distraction from something else, maybe.
Regardless of all the hypotheticals here, you've got not just the kin government, but they're using the ministry to get you two back, which means they're likely on our way. We did a lot of shortcutting to get here as fast as we did, which means they are not super far behind.
And Rourke, you remember that the kin pulled a lot of favors to get the ministry to back this move. This is we came to this place because it was out of the way, because it was, I don't know, it was safe as we could find. But if they're coming for us, I don't know what to do.
They may not find you here. We were able to find you, but it really.
Aeon could take you both in.
We have a lot of power.
And I'm just hypothetically, they come looking for you here. They follow the trail here, but you're not here, and they can look through the entire facility, and you're not here. And our lovely friends here at this one place, New Ravajo, could say that they've never seen you before, and just, I mean, Jean-Marie, I don't want to speak for you here, but we can get back to Ion in a quick second and just be gone.
Yeah, Jean-Marie, you could get us back to Earth, right? You got that kind of range?
Yeah.
Well, Lacuna splits up. It's like, I don't have the best record, so I mean, if you want to take her and go, I can stay. I know I haven't lived the best life, and I've been talking with her for a while. I could stay and run interference. The ministry's real mad at me.
But they can extract from you where she's gone.
That
Yes,
is true.
If we take her, we must take you as well. Your liability.
And I hate to be a dick for these other guys, but if we go now and they don't know that we're taking you,
And they don't know where we're going.
And they don't know what happened, and there's no one here. That's
I really don't want to go back to Earth, but okay.
Well, I mean, I get it. This place is pretty awesome, minus the whole like terraforming thing. But Aeon is on Earth, at least, and that's at least to start.
And they don't know you're there. That's the real kicker. That you're just not anywhere near where they're looking.
We can see what we can do to offer you some kind of protection and immunity so that the ministry doesn't know that you're there. I know they're going to be looking for you because you kind of defected from their order, but we
yeah, there are ways to do that, but
we can try to.
I lived a less than sterling life.
Yeah, well,
you know what? Okay, guys, if that's how you guys want to play it, then sure. Birdsong speaks up. It's like if you will pledge to stay with me and protect me, because I think I can trust you. But I don't know how deep this goes.
Neither do we.
I mean, there's currently 6 of us. We take it to the Ion. There's a lot more of us.
I trust Aeon perfectly. They want to do the right thing. And if your story holds water and there's more evidence, then we should do it. I'm just feeling bad for the people that are here. They're going to have to muck with all of that. But I guess that's what we got to do.
They're good people, but I think they'll understand. And you're right. If we're going to go, we should probably just go so that they don't have to tell more than they know.
Yeah.
All right. Fire it up, Space Cowboy.
Hey, he looks over at John Marie. He thinks he was talking to Oren, so he looks over at Jean Marie.
Yeah.
Cowgirl, sorry.
I'm thinking I may want to take some momentum.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, considering what time it is a one shot, and we have a whole bunch of it sitting in there.
Yeah.
Blow it all.
Just throw that beautiful beam footage right into the.
Which, if it's similar to Scion, will actually get us a point of XP.
Yeah.
So
it is.
I think we've got 3.
Because XP definitely matters for this session.
At least 3. At least 3.
It's 3 because we had 5, then we had 4, then we had 3, then we had 4, then we had 3.
I don't know why, but I feel a little apprehensive.
Oh,
like it can't be this easy.
So just to add a little bit of pressure on the situation, from out further in the facility, you guys start to hear like the alarm sounds. Proximity alert. Airspace breached.
Oh, he looks at his little mini comms like, wow, they got here fast.
Right, I got 2 successes.
Okay, that's enough to beat the difficulty, and I'm assuming you're taking them to somewhere you're incredibly familiar.
The Aeon office where
exactly.
Absolutely.
Hours ago.
Yeah, literally hours ago. Shimmering portal opens into that Aeon office. You guys rocket through, and it looks like you jump into like a budget meeting that's ongoing.
Perfect.
And come on, we got to play this straight. We just step out. Hi guys, walk by the snack bar.
Yeah, just
no, pick it up.
grab some
Grab
chips.
a bottle of water. And
We're telling Burnside like, make sure you duck. You got to duck. Excuse us. Excuse us.
Yeah. Like there's just like normal functionaries who aren't involved in this clandestine shit are just like, oh, is that
was that a Ken? What just happened?
somebody pulls out their mini comp to like take
No, take that.
Yeah, or Oren just like telekinetically grabs it from them.
You'll get back after class.
You guys
were never here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, none of you are telepaths, so you can't actually do that.
No.
But, you guys quickly meet up with Kira, your contact. You briefly explain the situation, and they start doing all of the legalistic paperwork, pulling up on the full might of Aeon to get these people, Lacuna and Birdsong, into political asylum under the aegis of the Aeon Trinity. And that is where we're going to end our session for the night. Thank you, everyone.
Precisely timed.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
Yes.
So, unfortunately, I've lost the use of my mouse, so I can't open up the chat to see who won the copy of Dystopia Rising Evolution.
I don't know. I can't. I don't see.
I have the chat open, but we haven't. It's Craig Oxbow.
Craig Oxbow.
Excellent.
X-Bro, sorry.
X-Bro, sorry. Oh my God, I'm the worst.
That's fair. All right, well, congratulations. Then.
Congratulations.
Craig.
Yeah.
Other Craig.
Yep. There you go. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Absolutely, thank you.
Craig, email this email. Hold on.
It's in the chat.
Yeah. Just yep.
Yeah. Email Craig. Email that email to get your copy, your free PDF.
Absolutely. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your con. This was super fun.
Thanks, everybody.
Super fun.
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Right. No.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. That was really good.
Cool.
Yeah, I had a super rad time, guys. And that's Aeon. That's Trinity Continuum Aeon, everyone.
Yay!
It's a fantastic game.
Space music.
I'm just waiting to be told that we're out.